Hello, how's it going? I'm back. What's the news? Welcome in, guys, gals, and non-binary pals. What's the happenings? Anyone who falls anywhere on the gender spectrum, welcome in. What's going on? I look amazing, thank you kindly. Do you like my little sword? I got another little sword, look. Look, I got another little sword. Oh, goodness me. What up? Not a lot. We're just about to kick off. Look where I put the red back on the Hearthstone. So now the Hearthstone. And yes, we got the sword earrings on, of course. What about agender people? Yes, they're welcome too. Everyone is welcome as long as you're not a shit cunt. I'm sure if we need to, we can start the stream out with a discussion of what exactly is a shit cunt, so that everybody's aware. You know, just shit. By the way, Magic, there you go, for the record. It's not the size of the sword. Hey, I've got a big sword, alright? I've got a really big, girthy sword over there, and there's another one. I got multiple swords. I can penetrate on multiple different frequencies. Guess what, young Mr. Ian? Guess what? What? That's my guess. I got some Solomon Kane vibes going on. I'll need to look up exactly what that reference means. I'm very, very Vlad Dracula at the moment. Because it's like wearing a blanket. I'm just wearing a blanket. It's a blanket. It's not like it's a cape. It's clothing, but it's literally just a. It's literally just like wearing a blanket. I love this. Everyone needs to get a cape. I'm telling you. We need to bring these back, dude. Genuinely. It's disappointing that the capes are not in chic, and like this hat, for the record, it's got a little bit of like belt detail over here. It's quite nice. Can penetrate us. No capes. Fuck Edna mode. She can go in the bin. I said what? I guessed. You said guess what, and I guessed. That's my guess. I'm gonna give you a heart attack with all those innuendos while rocking the vamp look. Like, oh really, chicken butt? What is that joke? What is that joke? Can someone explain that to me so I get it? I'm autistic, so I don't get jokes. I've heard that for so many years. Is it just literally that it rhymes and that's it? I am owed subs for that. I am owed at least 22 subs for putting up with that joke. Okay? It's just literally a rhyme. Alright, hang on. Let's hydrate. The Incredibles was anti-cape propaganda. It was. It was. Could you imagine if Captain America had a cape? Has there ever been a point at which Captain America had a cape? This I'm curious about.
Thank you for your membership.
Madam Scoville, thank you for the sub. Thank you for the subscription. Anyways. Oh, let me crack my back a little bit. I'm not in the best physical state. I did, it is a spicy username. How many Scovilles? What's the hottest thing you've ever eaten? Because I know you're a little bit more inclined towards the chili side of things than I am, Madam Scoville. What's your peak for actual Scoville unit measurement consumption of a thing, a chili or what have you? 1.2 million, Jesus. I think I might have seen a place that sells Carolina Reapers. I might have. At the very least, I've been to a place recently that sells really hot peppers. I'd like to try one. I don't think I'd stomach it, but I would like to try it. Or the one chip challenge. I do want to do that at some point. I'm not exactly a spice fiend, but, you know. An extract that was 1.8. Oh my goodness. That sounds exhausting. Like, just the pain of it. I can envision the pain of it. So should we talk about sex in the title? Should we talk about why the sex is in the title? Should we talk about why it's called Let's Talk About Sexism? For anyone who missed it, I wasn't live yesterday. I took yesterday off. Jacinta came over, we hung out, we watched some Avatar The Last Airbender, we had pizza and stuffed our face with Oreos, you know. We had a chill, cheat day, fucking not do anything kind of night. And the reason I did that is because I was completely thrown, and you like the earrings, I need to get more. I need to get the sword earrings that look like a sword piercing through the ear. I need to get those. I'm looking into getting a pair of those. At any rate, once I find them, you can guarantee I'm going to wear those on stream. Avatar Unchill. It was good. We finished the first season, so that's good. It's nice. The reason that I had Jacinta come over was because, and I posted about this on my Twitter, you might have read it. I was doing my job yesterday. I was working at about, 1 p.m., 12:30-ish. I was, going and picking up somebody's food. I'd picked up their food. I was on my way back to my car through the parking lot. I'd just exited the shopping center and was crossing the first crosswalk across the parking lot. And I hear a dude, and I see a dude out of the corner of my eye, and I hear him utter this is just incredibly disturbing. I hear him utter the word beautiful. And at first I thought nothing of it. Maybe I misheard him, maybe he's just muttering or whatever. And it's called fashion, yes indeed. This is fashion. Also, I gotta show you my little glove thingies that I got. They're cool too. They could go with this outfit, honestly. Yeah. So I heard that, and then I just kept moving towards my car. I didn't think much of it at first. Then I sort of noticed out of the corner of my eye. And yet, the Dracula look is a look. Can we just verify right now? Before I continue on with my traumatizing story. This is a look. Ignore the booties. But, this is how people should dress. Mate. We need more capes. Alucard wishes he could look as hot as me. The boots work though. They're comfy. It was partially inspired by obviously Castlevania, and partially inspired by my love of Bloodborne and the aesthetic of Bloodborne. I'm very much channeling that at the moment. I need a trench coat. I need to get myself a trench coat. Anyway, everybody can have the confidence to wear a cape. Capes are for everybody. Just do it. Cape is a big yes. Hey, Sunday. So, continuing on. Let's continue the story for a sec. I go past one row of cars and I notice the guy's heading in the same direction. And I think, okay, maybe this dude is just going to his car. And I hear some other muttering under his voice. I don't make out anything else, but as I'm walking along, I notice he keeps a 2 or 3 car distance. I'm walking between the cars to get to mine, and he's walking between the cars 1 or 2 down. I get to my car, and I unlock it. I've picked up the pace at this point because I'm a little bit unsettled. And I get to my car, I unlock it. And as I'm going there, it looks like he's going to continue walking past. But no, he sort of just stops and lingers 2 cars down from where I'm parked. And I hear him wish me a safe drive. And that's when I get really on edge. You know? So I get into my car. I notice he makes an approach in my direction. So I close that door and lock that bitch immediately. He's next to my driver's side window. I stare straight ahead, I don't acknowledge him, and after a minute or so, he walks off. And he starts, meandering back towards the center. So at no point was he actually going to his own car to leave. He was following me. And I pull out, car locked, I put my music on. Well, no, I don't put my music on at first. Actually, yeah, no, I didn't. I've been putting my music on in the car lately, and I've been enjoying it. In that moment, I couldn't do it. I couldn't put my music on because I was just in another headspace. I drive past him, I wind the window down, and I said something I really shouldn't have. I'm not going to repeat what I said to him. But it was threatening. It was incredibly threatening. And I think in that moment, I had every reason to feel like I might need to defend myself. So I was fucked after that. I was absolutely fucked. I was supposed to stream yesterday, and I had to call it off because I was just literally just pulling out of the shopping center. I broke down in tears. I was like, the only thoughts running through my head were, what was that man going to do to me? What were his intentions? And I thought to myself, I'll just keep doing my job. The way I do my deliveries is I can just... I'm usually on the same kind of hours, but I can just cancel the shift at any point for whatever reason. So I did the delivery that I already had. I did another one, and afterwards I was just still so shaken that I had to cancel the rest of the shift. I couldn't fathom the idea of just the potential maybe running into him again if I had to go back to that place, or just in general. Like the second delivery that I did after that, I was fighting back tears as I was running the food to their door, and then I just dropped at the door, knocked at the door, and ran off. I was just like, I could not. So I had to stop for the day, which sucks because, I'm losing money doing that kind of thing, but what was I supposed to fucking do? I was absolutely fucking traumatized by it. Hello, Comey, how you doing? Don't follow people. If you want to tell people they're beautiful, just be like, hi, I think you're pretty, and that's it. Don't fucking follow me. So now I'm just, I was in a very, very dark space yesterday. Very dark. And I was just absolutely distraught. Kept just breaking down into tears, and Jacinta came over. She comforted me. We got food, we hung out, we had fun. If you want, the summary of what happened, there is a tweet. I can post the tweet so I don't have to repeat the story. But it's just, yeah. I really wanted to stream yesterday too. Like, I thought to myself, what will take my mind off this is, let me find the tweet for you. Here we go. No, that's not it. That's a different ranty tweet. This one, here. I will drop this in chat, so if you missed it, you can read that, which sums it up, basically. But yeah, that was the reason I wasn't live yesterday, essentially. If you want to read it. Yeah, it has a pretty lasting effect. It's such, I think about it. I try to break this down in my head, and I think it's not that bad. You dropped a good video on the Discord, Sabercat. I'll have a look. Bunny was sad. She didn't get to raid me yesterday. Oh, that sucks. That would have been good. Well, is Bun streaming tonight? Maybe I can return the intended favor. But yeah, honestly, Scoville, I am now looking at going into karate nearby. There's a karate place nearby. And I was considering taking myself and my daughter to it. Not Bad Bunny, Bun Bunny. I think Bad Bunny is still suspended for a little bit longer, like another week or so, which sucks. I like Bad Bunny. I like watching her streams. What was I going to say? Yeah. Guys like that give the rest of us men a bad name. Yeah, exactly. And this is the thing. Yeah, Bad Bunny, who's a very prominently leftist political streamer. And I think it's speculated. She said, by the way, Sid, I totally forgot to thank you for the follow. Welcome to the Road Room, friend. But anyway, like, karate's the only martial arts nearby, by the way, which is why I'm looking into it. It's the only real option available nearby. There's nothing else, available. Without going, far out of your way and paying even more money. That same event happening without following in a comment would have been very uplifting instead. It could have been. Stronger than him will go down in a second. I am pretty swole, so I have that on my side. Is live earlier today, so she was live before me, is what you mean. But yeah, I have considered taking up karate again just because I think the class that I would be going to incorporates a bunch of different martial arts. Finally saw the T-San post on time. It's tricky that, isn't it, when you're in a streamer group and you see people's live posts and it's like, 16 hours ago, they're probably not still live. What I do on Twitter, actually, and maybe I could do this on the streamer groups that I post to, I delete my live posts after I'm finished streaming. So people will see that I'm live while the tweet is up, but as soon as the tweet is gone, I'm not live anymore. So maybe that would be a thing. Maybe that should be a thing on Facebook streamer groups. Maybe they should make it a rule that, like, after you finish being live, you need to delete your post. I would recommend that, honestly. The only problem there is, of course, I make posts where they, like, ask questions. And people like to have discussions, and if, the stream is over, people want to keep chatting, Unless it's someone like Kiwo who streams 24 hours plus. Jesus Christ, no. I would never. Hope you learn to chop their goddamn leg off. I'll do that next time. Very unsettling circumstance, and the unfortunate thing, and this is not a justification, the unfortunate thing in my head is I get the suspicion this person was not all there. I get the suspicion their behavior is that of somebody who doesn't have all their faculties and has not been, and I mean, you can still teach some. This person was obviously capable enough to be out on their own. However, somebody like that who might be a bit, I don't know what the right word for it would be, but someone who's not all that socially aware can still be taught, you know, how to keep personal space and, you know, all that kind of thing. So at the moment we're still discussing what happened yesterday. And yeah, I am still pretty fucking traumatized from it. I am still shaken from it. I had a moment this morning. Impaired might be a good way to phrase it. But that implies something different, I think. Kind of incelish, but the thing is, I mean, incels don't have an age range, right? They can be any age. But this guy was well past his 50s. You know, he had thinning hair on top, a little bit of a mullety thing going on. And, you know, he was just a generic-looking, older white guy. I don't, you know, if I were to go to the center and try to describe him, it's like he could describe almost anyone that goes to that shopping center. There's so many people that look like him. I was thinking maybe it could have been a touch of dementia, which, again, still doesn't justify the whole situation. And I am still, I'm not pleased with the situation. Because here's this strange person I don't know who is standing right next to my driver's side window. Why are you there? Why are you trying to get my attention? Sounds like a grinder sex pest. Fortunately, I have had no experience with that, but, you know. All the guys on dating sites be like, yeah. Wouldn't shock me. Yeah, but the whole thing is very awkward. And I wanted to talk about it because it does lean into what we were going to discuss today, which was going to be last night's stream. But I obviously didn't do it. This was going to be last night's stream. We are going to do critical race theory tomorrow, I think. I'm going to look into critical race theory and we're going to look through that because I keep seeing it pop up all over the place. And I'm like, what exactly is critical race theory? So I'd like to go through that as a team. And also, you know, I'm considering doing this thing with my streams. Like, I'm not doing a video essay on critical race theory. Or even, I mean, this topic might well lead into another video I've got coming up, this topic of sexism. The fantasy gangster fit. I look like Dracula. I like looking like Dracula. And like it kind of flattens my hair out a bit, but you know, the hat just bangs. Can we talk about how this hat just fucking bangs? Because like I was thinking about this. This kind of look on somebody who was, you know, maybe an 18-year-old dude would look kind of cringe. But because it's me and I know how to do makeup, it looks badass, or at least I'm going to say so. Can be vampire, but also vampire hunter aesthetic, true. Used to experience something kind of similar. It was many years ago, though, yeah. I've experienced similar things, but in a time period where I didn't understand it. It's a very peculiar look. It's a banging look. It's a fantastic look. I got another sword, look. A little baby sword. Also, the place where I got this, and I might need to go back to this stand, they had little tarantula earrings. Yeah, if you missed the tweet's there. Boy George look. Is it a Boy George look? I suppose, kind of. I mean, I've had a number of people compare me to Michael Jackson, and I'm just like, fuck it. I'm gonna own that shit. This is very Michael Jackson. You know? That's Abby now. I love that. That's from Helsing, isn't it? From Van Helsing? That's a fucking look, dude. Also, let me find something really quick. Is it? No, that's not it. Is this it? Brother, this thing. This thing. Okay, so who knows what Brotherhood of the Wolf is? I did not know that this movie existed, but now I'm tempted to watch it because... Does that aesthetic look familiar to you? Perchance? Does that particular visual style of their costume look familiar to you? That is directly the inspiration for the stylistic choices of Bloodborne. This movie, I need to see it because their costumes inspired the primary hunter costume of Bloodborne. It looks amazing. And for the record, yes, I am absolutely buying a tricorn hat when I can afford it. They're not cheap. I do intend to buy a tricorn. Anyways. They look fun. Some online friend you know got beat up and needs someone to talk to. Well, I hope you can cheer him up. Should take a look at the poster for a film called A Field in England. Oh, thank you for the bits, Ilium Gal. Alright, let's have a look. You can link me a place where I can get one more affordably, yes. Ooh. Ooh, I like that. That looks fucking cool. That looks fucking cool. Yeah. It's interesting when you start to look at where, like, you know, I adore Bloodborne for everything that it involves. And the primary thing that I see as the inspiration is Lovecraft. You know, H.P. Lovecraft's writing. And, what was I going to say? Yeah, like, it's interesting to look at something you admire quite greatly, like some piece of fiction you really enjoy, and then look at the influences for it, and you start to realize just how original are all the things that we regularly consume, you know? Very good movie about pagans out in the sticks of France. Yeah, I need to check it out. I put the her in Dracula. Quad corns. So yeah, like the tricorn hat is basically just a pirate hat, but it looks fucking amazing. You'll stab a bitch, it's alright. Lovecraft is a person though, I know. Awful. Awful person. Very racist. I can understand the viewpoint of he was a poor person who was certainly a product of his time and the society in which he lived. But still, that's not a justification. It just kind of explains why he was the way that he was. But also a lot of his writing, which, as far as I've heard, is very, very difficult to read. But it also contains a lot of those racist themes. Like, he was very, very racist in his fiction. There's a good breakdown on his racism. Well, we can have a look at that. Was Lovecraft racist? I mean, kind of, yes. H.P. Lovecraft, you mean hates progress Lovecraft? Oh, shit. That was good. Okay. Hang on. The place that sells it doesn't anymore. Probably make one as a side project. Yeah, I've found a few where they're like costumed pirate hats, and they're like a felt hat or something. And I'm like, yeah, I'd get away with that. They're not particularly like, I don't think my hats need to be of the highest, utmost quality, you know? I could get a faux leather or a felt hat or something. Let's have a look at this. That was the fucking, either shoe on head or Blair White little sound effect. Doom shirt.
Yes.
Oh, that's great. Okay, thank you for that. We're done. That's finished. That's all. That's over. Look at the Ken Russell film, The Devils, as it also has quite an effect on Dark Souls and Bloodborne. I'll have to look into that. I'll need you to like put these recommendations in my. I need like a film and TV section in my Discord. He was not a product of the time. Oh, really? Even for the time, he was massively racist. Was essentially more xenophobic. He lived and breathed on the idea, which is, if I don't understand it, it's scary. Yeah. Glad you didn't sit on that shelf for an hour or whatever. Okay, let's have a look. It's got to be more than based on an original story. Fake Shem. Is it just literally a credit sequence? It is. That's incredible. Okay, I thought it would cut and there'd be more. It was an April 1st upload. It says premiered April 2, but that's because I'm in Australia. Anyway. Yeah, the creepy music, actually. I think I can get away with this. Let me just for a second. I think I can get away with doing this. The music, honestly, sounds very similar to... The Lullaby for Murgo. Reminds you of Brigmore's Lullaby from Dishonored. I need to replay Dishonored. I just need to play Dishonored all the time. Dishonored is fantastic and everybody should play it. Anyways, let's come back to some regular music. Regular chill out music. Regular vibe music, shall we? Bruno Mattei is an Italian hack director. People make fun of him for his racism. That's how absolutely absurd his racism... Well, I suppose so, yeah, if it was that bad. Deep Stone Lullaby. Don't give me lullabies, I'll go to sleep. Lovecraft was friends with Howard and let him use the Cthulhu mythos in his Conan stories. Oh, I see. Can't stop today, but glad you got to pop by. Thank you so kindly for being here Sunday. Sorry I missed your message until just now. Anywho, we were gonna, because the original topic, the idea of the day was going to be... Oh, dang, Sonny, welcome to the Rogue Room, by the way. I really hate the fact that... Where is it? The message for the follow alert. It didn't pop up. Is the bot working? I can't tell because I can't see my damn bot. Hang on. No, the bot's not working. Why is the bot not working? I just noticed that. Why has the bot stopped working? What are you doing? Why are you doing that? Yeah, we are going to talk about, like, all manner of sexist things tonight. I don't know why it stopped behaving. It's connected. It's doing everything like normal. It's just not on. I didn't even realize. Okay, I think it might be generate token. The bot needs a rest. The bot can get over itself. Oh, bugger off. Verify login code. Thank you for giving a heck magic. I can't see you all. There we go. Undertaker vibe. That would work too. Okay, I found my Twitch verification code for the bot. Okay, authorize. Is it working? There we go, it's connected now. Fucking fantastic, you asshole. There we go. Yeah, Goth Vampire is kind of where I'm at the moment. There we go. There's the rules. Not that I needed the rules, I just used the rules as the default testing function. Guess what I named my cat? Then his friend turned to him and gazed into his eyes. Plainly, dude, stop. Yeah, I can see the Undertaker vibes if I bring it down a bit. A little bit Father Gascoigne, perhaps. I wear it like this, like on the back of my head, and there's a fucking hair here that I don't like the way that's sitting. You know, I wear it, sitting back a bit. Because I don't want it too over my face. Because it looks cute that way. Anyways, Lovecraft was afraid of anything that didn't conform to Anglo-Saxon, so pretty much everything, yet he married a Jewish girl. He sounds like an awful person.
Welcome back.
Hey, Raw, thank you for the
supporter
sub.
of the cause.
Thank you for the sub.
I did a thing.
You did do a thing. You know what I need to do? I need to work out some things so we can make... on the rare occasion that a hype train does happen, that they're more exciting because I don't really have any ideas for that. That's something I've been thinking about. I mentioned earlier that I wanted to add... I think I was talking about this in chat before the stream started. I want to add rewards for bits. Dang, Sonny, with 100 bits. Thank you so kindly. You absolute legend, you. He became much less racist and even a bit commie later in life. Well, there you go. Hype. Can we get some hype in chat? I was going to say I wanted to get... we were talking about, blurp and sound alerts and other things of that nature that, you can cheer a certain amount or you can cheer for whatever. And it'll play a sound on stream. I was considering bringing stuff like that back. Can we flex without ruining the shirt? This is not as tight. This is not as form-fitting. Now he's very not racist. Bit hard to be racist when you're a corpse. Raw, thank you for giving a heck. Anyway, there's a piece of apparel I've shown you recently, my robe that I got, which I would not be able to flex in because I would absolutely tear it. And that sucks. Let me tell you how much that sucks. I hate it. I need to have this robe thing tailored so that it's not so tight on my arms and not so tight across the back of my chest. Hitler managed. Remember this scene from a show. Be careful what I can play, because it has to be something that's like yeah, the robe is gorgeous, isn't it? Can I bring up the pictures of that again? Mission Hill Republican Vampire. Okay, hang on. We'll have a look at this. Hello, Elliot.
I thought that was you. How you doing?
Oh, hey, it's Jerry, right?
Yeah, but my friends call me the Republican Vampire. Are you GOP, Andy?
I'm not. I don't.
The Repubs are cool, man. Let me tell you my philosophy vis-a-vis our conservative friends. I follow Marilyn Manson, but I obey Rush Limbaugh. I hear him on the radio and I just go. Dance with me, Andy.
What the fuck am I watching? How am I? I'm doing well. I'm doing okay. I'm doing much better than yesterday. I feel a lot more mellowed out after yesterday's events. Conservatism is the new punk rock 30 years ago too, yeah. It's so weird the way that these things, like, again, time is a flat circle, you know? We're repeating the same things over and over again. Okay, here's the outfit I was talking about. This thing is fucking stunning. I love it. I could live in it. It's gorgeous. But it's too tight around the arms, shoulders, and back. Like, I can't move my arms when I'm wearing it. And it almost kind of looks like the hot chicks from Resident Evil Village. Not Lady Dimitrescu, but her little ladies. But yeah, like the idea that conservatives again, who tend to rule the entire world, love to see themselves as some kind of counterculture type, despite the fact that they are the status quo uniformly. The I obey Rush Limbaugh part. You like my setup? Why, thank you. I've put a lot of lights into it. Have beefy arms, so a lot of women's tops constrict your guns all the time. It's the eternal pain of lifting biceps. Bought some blue light glasses yesterday, and the whole gender-affirming glasses. Gender-affirming glasses? Yeah, I got that robe from Holy Clothing is the website. Have a lamp next to your computer. Think you need to step up your game. I need to put lights on the back of these shelves. I've been meaning to do this for months. I need to put light strips on the back of these shelves here. And I'm going to. I just haven't done it yet. I need to get light strips, and I need to get connectors so I can have all the backs of my shelves lit up. And then, you know, I get little connector things so that there's no extra lighting there. What's this one? This wasn't supposed to be a React stream. Oh, I think... Did you show me this one? I feel like you already showed me this one. Yeah, you did.
Rush.
You look like you've got something to say. Do you?
Yes, I certainly do.
I have to go now. My planet needs me.
Rush.
Dad!
Yeah. Some people like glasses for how they obscure facial features, which is extra handy when you're bad at makeup. I mean, I can agree. I like wearing glasses, but mostly because they're fashionable. I've got a... Did I ever show you folks these? You know, I like nice glasses that make my face, that complement my face, including the purple ones which I lost. They're never coming back. But these, I don't know why I bought these. At some point, you know, early in my transition, I thought to myself, these will look cool. You know, this will be a start on my little fashion transition journey and gender transition journey. What the fuck are these, Abigail? I swear they looked better on the website. What is this? What is this? I don't know what these are. I've never worn them. Like, out in public, I'm embarrassed that I own them, but I'm like, I'm not gonna get rid of them. Somebody else can have them if they want. I'll sign them. Give them away for like $50. Wear them all the time. What have you sent me? Iron Warriors and Imperial Fists are not friends. I'm probably not gonna get the references though. Alright. I'm not racist, Abby.
Imperial Fist! Your fortifications are weak! Your structures fall, much like your Primarch! Oh, will you bawl and shriek, Fist? Will you bawl and shriek?
Animations! Do you remember when YouTube didn't completely assassinate the animation industry on their platform? I would get this more if I actually played 40k, but I literally have Assault on Blackreach and I've played Space Marine, and that's the extent of my knowledge of... I like the aesthetic of the universe. Is this Shovel Knight? There's a game I've got to play, actually. Oh, God. I hate when I laugh heavily. I hate that shit so damn much. Shovel Spite. Cat. Baduism, welcome to the Rogue Room. How you doing? I got a cat down here. He's being a shithead lately. He's attacking me while I'm just trying to sit in my chair. And there's the bot coming along with the... Be sure to follow RogueBX if you haven't already. I dare say someone just did if they wanted to. You can too if you're watching and you're not already following. You can also follow if you like. Don't feel pressured or anything. But you know, the bot is just making sure you're aware. There he is. Their banter is odd. Are you right? Let's see if he does it again. Hang on. Did I see the frog pic on Discord? I think I did, yeah. Did I? Oh. I saw the beetle. What frog pic? Let me try something, actually. Let me just try something. I can't see the frog pic, but let me just try finding something really quickly. There he is. I didn't see that, but I did see this. Fog. Hello, baby. I love him. I just... It glistens. It's so... Why is this so funny? Look. He's found a spot. There him is. Do you want to talk about sexism? Do you want to talk about sexism? What do you think? My heart, my little gay cat heart. Hello. Now you're being nice. He was being an absolute cunt before. I'm telling you, he was being an absolute cunt. He was doing everything in his power to attack me. Now he's being nice. Now that it suits him, when the camera's on, you know. Now he's being polite and sweet. Ugh. Goodness me. Sounds about right for a cat. Yeah, when it benefits him. He also doesn't like being under a blanket, so let's see how the cape goes. I'll put him under the cape. Wrap him up in the cape. No, he's moving. He's literally... Oh, by the way, I believe there was some mention that Twitch is reviewing the situation with the /me thing. They might be bringing back the colored messages, but I think it might be just for moderators. So there might be a /mod command that'll show the text in color. Which sucks, but it will allow my bot to have his identity back. You know, that would be nice. And gives the cat pets too. I just want to bring the colored /me's back. Dude. That was, Lydia, it was just, no, it wasn't italicized, but the text color of /me matched your thing. Their identity. I'm sorry, I'm misgendering my bot now. I'm terrible with this. It was regular text, but the color matched your name. And yeah, you can get it with FFZ again. You can fix it with FFZ. But making it only for the mods, honestly, Twitch, is just pandering to the bourgeoisie of this platform. Bring back colored text for all the working class of Twitch. Which is the viewers, I guess. It does that on mobile still? Oh, well, that's good, at least. Someone who actually has that disorder, he's still on the fence if they really do. Wait, which disorder? Yeah, if you use FFZ, you can mod it back into how it used to be. Do you mean... What was the excuse they gave for /me? Was it related to accessibility? The viewing class? Yeah. The viewing class and the creating class. DID, although yours is technically OSDDB 1 type B. Oh, I see. Not playing Awesome Gear Solid video. I wasn't supposed to be doing reactions tonight. What was I supposed to be doing? I wanted to do some stuff about sexism. I wanted to talk about sexism tonight. Particularly, like this thing. This is Bloomberg. That's not what I want. This thing here. This is kind of what I, welcome back, Fox. This is something I wanted to bring into this, to start this discussion off, because we might as well have the discussion since that's what I planned on. Receiving unsolicited comments on your body. Now, who was it that mentioned, if that person had just said beautiful to me, it wouldn't be that bad of a thing, and that was all it was. I still think in that vein, even if they had just said that to me, maybe if they'd approached me and gave me a compliment, I'd be okay with it, but if they had just, at a distance, said that remark loud enough that I could hear it, and, what was it? If they just said that loud enough that I could hear it and acknowledge it, it'd still be fucking creepy, Not a minute, you brief 10-second chuckle. Okay, hang on. Lalafell is dummy small. I'm not gonna get specific references.
Colonel, I'm trying to sneak around.
I know this reference.
But I'm dummy small, and the clap of my baby shoes keeps alerting the guards.
That's a... Hang on, you can do Cameo. Is it Cameo or whatever it is? With, that guy, with David Hayter. As far as I know. Bring back Spotify. What have you done? Is that what they've done? Have they just all paid David Hayter to get him to do all these different things? Is that what they've did? FFZ does fix it. Yeah, if you don't know someone, keep your judgments about them to yourself. Like, I don't think... That wasn't David Hayter. Oh, okay. I know the original was, wasn't it? The original meme was David Hayter. Anyway, where were we? This one. Pretty sure it was just a good impression. Because I know there are some people like him. I think Matt Mercer does this. Where they will go onto... Yeah, it's either Cameo or there's another website. And you can just literally pay them money and they will record like a short soundbite. Like if you go to Jordan Riskopoulos' stream, she's got sound bites of Gilbert Gottfried, which are recorded by Gilbert Gottfried. It's not a witch outfit, but it's dang close. It's pretty dang close. I am leaning into a bit of a witchy look lately for some reason. Not sure why. Hello, Delina. How you going? Yeah, the original Dummy Thick was him. Looking really goth tonight. Thank you. Thank you, Katrina. The hat. Welcome to the Rogue Room, Delina. Testing. Yeah, it still sucks. Matt Mercer likes to play Overwatch and do McCree's voice out randomly to fuck with people. There's that one guy who does a lot of these and it became a meme itself. Can't remember his name. Oh, okay. That would make sense. Gilbert Gottfried will do anything. Yeah. Probably. But I mean, you do have to pay them for it. It's not free. If I was semi-famous, I'd do it. Charge $30 for somebody to get a soundbite of my voice saying pretty much anything they want. I'd do it. For the money. Gilbert reading Twilight fanfiction very loudly. Oh, I recall that one. Oh, excuse me. Dude's called Tyrone. Oh, okay. But there you go. Yeah, this part here. For some reason, the simple act of women being out in public seems to give some men and women the assurance that they have the right to comment on and even touch women's bodies. This is where I was really terrified. It's like, what if this dude got close enough to actually touch me? I don't know what I would have done in that circumstance. Gilbert's 50 Shades. I remember reading that one. A survey conducted by the not-for-profit Stop Street Harassment found that over 81% of women have been catcalled, groped, yelled at, stared at, intimidated, followed, or harassed online. This is the thing, right? It's like I fully expected during transition, at some point somebody would have either publicly catcalled me or publicly called me a cross-dressing F-slur. So far, I've gotten one of them. We're waiting on the other one, you know? Thinking of getting Troy Baker's voice from Cameo for a 30-second clip? Do it. Do it. But don't worry, women shouldn't be alarmed by any of this, because apparently we should just take these actions as compliments and not as creepy comments on our bodies, unless of course you were wearing a revealing outfit, in which case you were obviously asking for attention. Regrettably, I don't want to call this person out by name, but a friend of mine who I know in real life, we were out recently publicly, and we saw some girls who were wearing revealing outfits, and he made numerous remarks about how attractive they were, why maybe they shouldn't wear those kind of outfits if they don't want to get harassed, and I was like, dude, I wanted to say something, but I just sort of groaned a bit, and I was like, I don't know how to confront these kinds of things. Obviously, you know, my only source, my only, you know, dealing with this dude yesterday, my first instinct was flight, get away from him, you know, get to the safety of my car and get away from him. Different, you know, two different people I'm talking about here, but anyway. But in that situation where somebody is making untoward comments to your face on your body based on what you're wearing, I wish I knew where this idea comes from. Obviously, it's rooted in the sexist notions that we've come to just, I guess, accept about the society in which we live. Like, it's not accepted. We do not accept it. However, it is something that is expected. You know, we just know that these kinds of things are going to happen. But who's teaching men these habits? I don't know. We wear what we want when we want, and it's not for the sake of others. Precisely. And the thing is, yesterday, what I was wearing wasn't even like a revealing, sexy outfit. I think I was wearing this hat. I was wearing a baggy black t-shirt, some denim short shorts, and the shirt sort of hung over those. It was a really, you know, loose-fitting top. Some black tights, like black stockings under the shorts, and my boots. I wasn't exactly, you know, in an asking for it attire, which still wouldn't have justified any of the behavior. But, you know, I don't know. Quite frankly, it doesn't really matter what you wear. You could be wearing a burlap sack and there would still be men harassing you. And it's rooted in the idea that women aren't fully human. Yeah. Asshole men should know better. They should. Catcalled wearing tracksuit pants and a baggy purple woolen hoodie. And worse. Jesus. It's really bizarre to me. Because as someone who would never have done that stuff before, I can't fathom being the kind of person who would do that stuff. Maybe it's just the explicitly feminist upbringing I had, but I just cannot imagine being in that sort of mind space where it seems okay to you to harass someone because you find them attractive. And this is rooted very deeply in childhood too. You know, a lot of this behavior is rooted in childhood. A lot of these mindsets are formed when kids are very small. And they're still learning social behaviors, and the parents tell them how to behave around, you know, the opposite sex, if we're going to do that whole thing. What's the stream about? We're talking about sexism tonight. We're talking about social sexism, institutional sexism. We're going to talk about it on Twitch as well. There is a fair bit of sexism here on Twitch. Because, you know, all of these things all come around to the way society behaves at the end of the day. After the incident, the cops asked you if I was maybe provoking. Jesus Christ. Oh my God. See, like, even that. you know, that alone, that inference that the police have made there is that in some capacity, the victim of harassment could have provoked it. That in itself is a sexist notion that police do unequivocally believe. Although, this is not at all related to sexism, but when I was a kid, when I was a teenager, had to deal with the cops as a result of someone I no longer call a friend stealing from me. And the cops asked me the question of if I had potentially led him to believe he could borrow those things or anything of that nature. It's like, no, I didn't tell him he could steal my PlayStation Portable, my sister's laptop, a bunch of my games, and whatever else. No, I did not tell him he could take those things. He just took them and left, you know? So I'm trying to think, like, what would the police's viewpoint be? I guess maybe impartiality, trying to you know, deduce every single factor of a scenario if they're investigating a particular case. But still, you should never in any circumstance ask a woman what she was wearing when she was harassed. It's never a relevant question. It's never a justification for the behavior of other people. And that's something we need to move away from broadly, socially speaking. We need to move so far away from that idea. In the same sense as part of that is police not wanting to do their job, so blame the victim. Yeah. I was just thinking, you know, there was a comment I think I got on YouTube where they were saying the words, you know, typical TERF bullshit. And they said, if you don't like the fact that certain people in life are going to call you a man in a dress or whatever, then you shouldn't you shouldn't transition. It's like, so I should have to put up with the harassment because of a factor of who I am. I should just have to deal with that, should I? I shouldn't be allowed to complain, should I? That's the thing. This is the way that these people's minds work when they justify these things. Is they say, well, the bad shit's gonna happen anyway, so you might as well get over it. You know, if you don't want to deal with the harassment of wearing certain clothes. I do occasionally wear apparel that is designed to accentuate parts of my body that I really like. You know, I do want to look attractive. Doesn't mean I necessarily want you to comment on it. You know. Seeing someone getting catcalled in a burqa, that's ridiculous. Won't say what the incident is because it's CW territory. But you can maybe guess why I was there. Hang on, let me come back a bit. Did I miss something? Oh, I see, yeah. It's really weird when women do it. Yesterday you were wearing a dress that went down to your knees and a Karen sexually harassed you. It's pure sexism. Cops buy into the narrative that sexual harassment and assault are the women's fault. And there's that whole discussion there we could have about how... I'm just trying to think for a second. I've got the idea on the tip of my tongue. The idea of so many, for example, sexual assault cases are dismissed, are outright ignored, or, you know, even, you know, with as much evidence as humanly possible, there are so many cases that go unresolved in the sexual assault space because there's simply not enough to make a conviction in the legal system. So there's a lot of men who I guarantee you are outright rapists or sexual assailants in some capacity who are out there just living their lives completely carefree. They do not have to face the consequences of their actions because the police, the system, doesn't believe victims, you know? Imagine all the yikes misogynist shit you can justify with that perspective. Exactly. It's like saying black people should just shut up and deal with racists. Exactly. It's the same thing. And that's it. It's like we live in this period. We live in the, I mean, this has been the attitude for a long time, but there are a lot of people who still have this survival of the fittest attitude. And what that means is it's typically very privileged people saying this. People who can afford to just get over it because realistically they don't have any of these problems that affect certain groups of people. So, you know, they'll say shit like, oh, just get over it. You know, it's gonna happen, so you might as well just accept it. Not realizing that, you know, marginalized groups, and women count in that. You know, I know women are not a minority, but they are a marginalized group. You know, when we're talking about sexism, generally speaking, we are talking about sexism towards women.
Guests.
Tiara, welcome to the road. Well, welcome. Thank you for the raid. One of those. Where's my little remote? Oh, it's over there. Party mode. Baked Books. Welcome to the Rogue Room. Thank you for the raid, Kiara. What were you doing tonight? Tell us all about it. Hello, cat. There we go. Party lights, kitty cats. What's going on? Oh my goodness. Transphobes co-opting feminism. That's a good one. I like that one. Do agree with the idea of wearing what you want, but you should be aware that like certainly, you know, there are certain types of clothing that you wouldn't wear to the supermarket, for example. Like I really don't think wearing a string bikini with a thong to the supermarket is appropriate, you know? Because just generally speaking, I don't know. You know, it's a tricky territory. Literally in another person's chat, the word gay is banned. Is there a reason the word gay is banned in their chat? Well, yeah, that's a good question. Is like, why isn't it appropriate, right? I suppose that's the way we've been socialized to think. Appropriate and free expression are not mutually exclusive. Never mind just being gay. I don't know, I'll be a slut at the supermarket. You're not helping the situation, folks. It's no wonder that an institution rooted in blind respect to authority will protect the patriarchy, no matter what, exactly. So you're talking... Where did I see your message? Blah, where is it? Where is it? I missed your message, Kiara. You were talking about Ramadan and medication. What kind of medication? Unless they're closet gay. I have seen people at Walmart. You're a closet gay? That's gotta be terribly unfortunate. Antidepressants. What's this one? I mean, I suppose, yeah, you're absolutely right, actually, yeah. I hadn't even thought about this. That's just incredible. That's just awesome. That's just awesome. Yes. Look at the the reaction of this lady over here. Oh. Reject patriarchy, embrace gaytriarchy. I think, like, probably the main reason, the main justification behind not allowing certain people to wear certain things in certain situations would be it's probably too cold to wear a string bikini in the supermarket. Socially speaking, a lot of us have grown to accept that generally speaking, if you're out in public, you're going to be wearing clothes of some sort. This is Smudge. He's a baby. But yeah, I think we should have embraced that freedom of expression, of course. I like wearing clothes just because I get to be stylish. He is a dick. He's an absolute fuckwit. Unless you're a polar bear, yeah. But like the way in which clothes themselves, like just the clothing thing. If we stick on the clothing thing for a bit. He is a cat. That's true. He's an asshole cat. Anyway. What was I gonna say? I'm trying to think. Yeah, the way that clothes are portrayed, I suppose. You know, the way that clothes are designed to appeal to certain, just trying to think, like there's a thought in my head, but I can't think of what it is. Think about it this way. Men's clothing generally doesn't have a lot of variance. So much so that if you see a man wearing something that's not typically masculine, it turns into a big fiasco, right? On the inverse, women's clothing is a lot more varied, a lot more distinct, and a fair chunk of it is designed to be specifically sexually appealing in numerous ways. Not just, you know, this top has got cleavage, or whatever. Grocery shopping in a gimp suit confidence. It's certainly something you'd have to work towards. It'd be like an acquired taste sort of thing. Can you wear a maid suit outfit at the supermarket? Yes, do it. Have people get judgy when you wear activewear leggings out in public. They give you good gender feels though. I need to get some activewear leggings. Confirming your belief about free speech not being tethered to a constitution. Yeah. Free speech is a whole other discussion we could have. Could see someone going in with a string bikini and thong if they wear something around the waist. Oh, I've seen people getting around in bikinis in the supermarket. I have. Typically in the summer, and it's like they're going to the beach or something, so they'll wear that kind of stuff. You will get reactions, but fingers crossed nobody will comment on it. You know? Inappropriate clothes, you mostly mean clothes that will get you in trouble. For example, a place where you should wear a formal outfit. But even that speaks to the idea of, like, why does this occasion require that we wear a certain outfit? You know, we are taught from a young age that we have to wear uniforms all the time. We go into school, well, at least in Australia here, we are told we have to wear a certain uniform, whatever that uniform is. Whether it's the school uniform, whether it's, you know, a certain type of apparel that you would wear to the gym, wear to a workplace, wear to the beach. You know, we are instructed in certain ways to wear our clothes, pertaining to whichever situation we're in. You got into trouble for wearing too many clothes when it was hot. Just don't get why people care so much about what other people wear. Yeah, like that's another whole thing. You know, it's like, even like there's never any reason to comment on another person's appearance, like we were mentioning before. Receiving unsolicited comments on your body. Unless, of course, you are going to appreciate someone's outfit and say that it looks really nice on them. And you're going to do so in a way that's not creepy. I think that would be appreciated. However, you know, to make comments on what another person's wearing and, you know, making remarks that are generally negative about another person's attire, there's never any need for that. There's never any... It's purely a selfish action. That kind of thing is purely saying to that person, I need you to hear my opinion on how you look. It's purely for themselves. Palmoxylon, welcome to the Red Room. If you have the body for it, you'd be one of those women in bikinis at the shops. Do it. Just do it. You do have the body for it. Do it. Always compliment people wearing queer merch in public. Yeah. I don't see much of it, but yeah, I probably would. Yeah, I love your outfit. Let's see how it looks on my bedroom floor is not a compliment. Exactly. It's not. It's, yeah. And like this continues to say, like, unfortunately, there's not much you can say if someone harasses you on the street without compromising your safety. However, a good way to humiliate someone who has harassed you in public is to say what or pardon as if you didn't hear them. The more they have to repeat what they just said, the sillier they sound. On the other hand, if you see someone being harassed in public and there are other people around, don't be afraid to speak up. As more people start calling out these behaviors, less people will get away with harassing women or feel comfortable harassing them in the first place. The legal drinking age in Australia is 18. We're not doing anything correctly. Views on sex are really radical. What kind of radical sex views have you got? By body, you mean ripped. I love your outfit. Let's see how it looks after I mug you for it. You want to rock the kind of abs that make hyper macho men get flustered? Here's the thing, is like, with abs, generally speaking, you need to get down to near, you know, sub 8% body fat before you get visible abs. And the lower body fat percentage you get, the more visible and defined they are. And a lot of people who have very visible abs are on steroids. By and large, you know, either that or yeah, they're just incredibly muscular, which generally speaking requires a certain level of dietary concern. You need to eat a very strict diet to be able to get that lean and get that muscly as well. You refuse to get abs, you'd rather stay a stick, so no bread for you for 6 weeks. I've got to get off the carbohydrates. I'm really bad for it. Best kind of sex is radical. Higher age, more alcoholism. Absolutely proven? I'd need to look into that. Everyone wants abs, but it's too much maintenance. Yeah, it really is. It becomes a point where people who are working on their body to that point are, like, it's... The best way I've heard it stated is by Jay Cutler, the bodybuilder. There was a video I watched of him where he's like, I don't eat for fun at any point. You know, eating is now a part of the job. So he's a very big bodybuilder dude. Massive dude. Definitely on the gear, or at least used to be. When he was competing. I don't know if he still competes. I don't think he does. And eating, because he had to eat like 12,000 calories a day to maintain his size, it was a job. He would eat a meal, maybe give it an hour and a half, he'd eat another meal. And they'd be big protein and carb-laden meals. Huge amounts of food to get to the level where their muscles are so big, including their abs, and of course, you know, the working out to the levels that they do. It's there's a ridiculous amount that goes into crafting that sort of, I want a visible 6 or 8 pack body. I honestly wouldn't recommend it as someone who has tried on several occasions to get that lean. It doesn't. I mean, I'm as lean as I've ever been now, I think. Say MMA fighter physique. That many meals, yeah. Yeah, it was like 6 meals a day, so you'd have like 3 main meals, 3 in-between meals, and probably a protein shake in there somewhere. You love the outfit and the earrings. I like the earrings. They're good, aren't they? They're pretty nice. Buys a 6-pack of lager. I've got some drinks. I should grab. Oh no, I bought 1 drink. Sorry, I bought 1 can of White Claw. I'm gonna try a White Claw Ruby Grapefruit. More likely to wear a spanking suit than a gimp suit. European alcohol standards have proven the link to glamorizing alcohol. Oh really? That's something we could look into, honestly. White Claw, sophisticated. Sophisticated my ass. Must have, so the same way America did it and copied us so you could have your own multi-billion-dollar treatment programs. Probably. Alcoholism is an entire discussion. And especially with regards to the thing that happened recently in Darwin. Was it Darwin? Where, excuse me, back of my head's itchy. And in Darwin they were going to build a Dan Murphy's, but because the community there had such an alcohol problem, the company eventually turned around and said, we're not going to build a new liquor store there. Rather a hard cider or a tequila. Don't give you the ladder though, you will float with anyone if you drink tequila. Baby's first alcoholic beverage. Yeah, that's what I thought. Super lazy genius, welcome to the Rogue Room. You only drank because it was against the rules. I literally didn't drink because... Well, I mean, it wasn't because it was against the rules. I just didn't want to drink until last 4 or 5 years or so. 4, 5, maybe 6 years ago when I had my first drinks. I was in my mid-20s. You know? You return, Phage. Does that mean you have the colored /me messages? That would be nice. You know. Am I an eldritch abomination of human flesh and meat heating utensils? Yes, that is exactly what I am. This is something that I've had to deal with a couple of times. Have sadly needed to spend 7 months in rehab for alcoholism. I'm sorry to hear that. All pressure to drink with my kids to be cool and fit some standard well before it's legal. I think your first drink was just so you knew what vodka tasted like if someone tried to get me drunk at a concert. Does /me work? I'm looking like a biological grill. Where's Hecklin? Hecklin's a grill. So you don't have the colored... Ah, that sucks. Won't be accepted in a lot of circles if you're not willing to break the law, just being blunt. Well, yeah, I knew of that. I know that whole thing. Yes, I am mad that /me is still italics. They need to fix it. They need to change it. I don't know why they changed it in the first place. It's atrocious. It's a nightmare. It should never have been that way. But yeah, I'm well aware of the way that America does glorify criminality. They changed it because of the potential for abuse? Yeah, the /me thing, yes. I thought you meant the age of the alcohol drinking age laws. I'm like, maybe, I guess. But yeah, that /me thing is stupid. Here's a thing, which I didn't get from this dude. Maybe I did and I didn't hear it. Maybe I did and I didn't hear it. You know? This is the thing, because this guy said numerous other things to me. We're still recanting yesterday's events, wherein I did not stream. Because of yesterday's events, where I was fucking traumatized by a creepy dude. But I get the suspicion maybe he did this thing. Being called a good girl, darling, sweetie, babe, etc. I've actually had this happen. Usually in Twitch chat, I've had a few people come in and call me these kinds of things. I've had people in Instagram DMs do these kinds of things. However, it's interesting that I've had people call me darling and sweetie in person, but it's been women. And I don't care if it's a woman that does it. You know, because generally speaking, the inference is not flirtatious. The inference, I mean, if there were a woman who was interested in me, and I was similarly interested, I'd still accept that. But I haven't had, I don't think I've had a man call me this in person yet. However, this is a common thing that does happen. I've seen it around. You get called those all the time by customers, Emmy? Yeah. I wouldn't be shocked. And my mother has a habit of calling everybody darling or sweetie or whatever, which is really weird. I don't know why she does that. It must be some kind of outdated trope that older people haven't dropped. But I've certainly been around men who've exuded this kind of behavior towards women. It's if someone says good girl to me and I'm into them, I melt. Otherwise, I'm just uncomfortable. Yeah, exactly. Use it purely for sarcasm, as you may have noticed. Yeah, I do that. But like, it depends on. Yeah, the context of the situation definitely depends. Yeah, how this is received, I should say, definitely depends upon the context. But yeah, you will know the difference, generally speaking. But there are, for example, I don't know, I can't think of an example. I've been called bro or brother at work, and I'm like, don't call me that, please, but no one knows you're trans. Yeah, like, and that's the thing. If somebody says to you they don't want you to call them something, in particular, a certain word, nickname, or whatever, you should respect that. You should respect that part of their personal boundary, is to not, I don't like it when you call me, that sort of thing. Good girl would be super weird. I can't even think of anyone calling good girl, like using the phrase good girl. It's such a weird thing to think of that being used in conversation. I'm honestly baffled by that one. Darling, sweetie, and babe. Yes, I've heard those used in conversation before. There are, like you mentioned, Fox, is one of the female bartenders at the bar in town near you calls everyone babe. I know of a few people. There's one of my good friends calls everyone babe. Know a streamer who loves being called a good girl. Well, there you go. If they are, if they are okay with it, if they're comfortable with it, then it's different. It's a different situation if they make it aware. Had some internet creeps call you good girl. Yeah, that's where most of my interaction with this kind of thing is. Creepy guys in Instagram DMs mostly calling me darling, sweetie, babe. Like, I've literally never spoken to you in my life. That's the main thing, right? Is you got to be careful about this kind of language, especially if you're unfamiliar with the person. Now, I think darling can be okay to a point, but it certainly depends on the context of the conversation. If you come up to me and say, "How you doing, darling?" I am going to vomit on your entire outfit. Actively, I'll stick my fingers down my throat to make it happen because you gross me out that much. However, in the case of, say, my mother, she goes through the checkout at the supermarket and she'll go, "Oh, thank you, darling," and it's kind of just, it's nonchalant. It's not really trying to be explicitly flirtatious or anything like that. Worst thing you've been called is milady. Oh my god. Ugh. Good girl is sort of DS and gender affirming, provided it doesn't come from a guy. There you go. Thought that thing died after it became a meme. You'd know if that's the thing though, as a lot of people don't know if it's creepy or not. I'm not in Kentucky. I'm in Australia, so it's a different situation, culturally speaking. A good girl infantilizes the subject. That was what I was going to say, yeah. It's definitely infantilizing. And just the phrasing good girl, it specifically, to me, reads as sexualized, almost. It's a weird... That particular phrasing is very, very fucking weird. Legione OD, welcome to the program. Not Moon Ghost, welcome to the program. If someone had a thick southern accent, yeah, it's different. It's different depending on context. But not everybody is going to have that same social context. So, if someone is not aware of that particular social norm from that particular area, and they get called darling by somebody who happens to be from that region, they are entirely justified in feeling uncomfortable about it. If that's something they don't want to be called by someone they're not familiar with. Which is the primary thing. Women everywhere often find themselves in the awkward position of being called a good girl by a customer or their boss. Now, if it's a customer, Jesus Christ, that's a fat yikes. Their boss, that's an even fatter yikes. Despite being a fully functioning adult, while fairly harmless and usually said with good intentions, infantilizing women in this way is pretty condescending and shows they are not being taken seriously as a professional. That's the main thing there, is the use of that kind of terminology to basically take away that woman's agency. To assert to them, I look at you as someone who is beneath me. You know, you're like a child. You're a obedient dog, you know? Acceptable alternative, GG fuckwit. I don't want to be called good girl by anyone. Yeah, exactly. Like, I mean, like I said before, you know, depending on a person's individual relationship context, of course, they might find it okay in that circumstance. But just generally speaking, that phrase in particular, good girl or good boy, as it later comes up, you know, it comes across really weirdly, really puppy play. Ew, no. Had enough, you know, bestiality justification on the Twitter timeline today, thanks. So this is funny, the second part of this paragraph. The second paragraph. If someone calls you a good girl, simply bark at them. Okay, that's a stretch. Otherwise, find a later opportunity to call that same person a good boy or good girl and see how they like it. I don't agree with antagonizing. I will say that much. I don't agree with, like, retaliating in kind, because that just exacerbates the situation. It's a very tricky situation there. If you're concerned that one of those responses might result in you losing your job, or you're worried about sounding insane, try to find a way to respectfully tell that person that being called a good girl makes you uncomfortable. Most of that entire segment is just the good girl thing. Doesn't even touch on, like, the darling, sweetie, and babe thing, which are different circumstantially. What this is referring to, for example, is if, like, say you do a good job and someone's like, good girl, you know, but in the case of, say, just serving a customer, I've heard things like darling, sweetie, you know, those kinds of things are often thrown around by older people. And of course it all comes back to that thing of, like, if that person is not comfortable being called that, don't call them that. It should just generally be accepted that some of these phrases are perhaps dated in the current vernacular. And we should just stop using them unless we're certain the person we're talking to is comfortable with that terminology. You know? Fighting fire with fire was you go to? Just say, there's a good lad in your accent. Apparently makes guys feel like you're more of a mother figure than a sexual prospect. Well, I mean, there's something. Would have hated me in my 20s and 30s. Why? Try to get them on the ground, get them to roll over, then rub their tummy. Maybe pepper spray? Yeah, pepper spray them. Just pepper spray someone if they call you darling. Just terminally bottom. This is from Future Women. This is just a list of examples I was finding, so that we can talk about the concepts on a broader sense. Now, this is a big one, and I'm sure we're all familiar with this. Double standards. And this is particularly relevant in the Twitch thing. You know, we're gonna talk a bit about how Twitch is very sexist. Bottom of what? Hypothetical, you're in love, you found the person you want to be with for the rest of your life. They get down on their knees, look in your eyes and say, doll face. What the fuck? Okay, hang on. Why is my nose running? They say, doll face, will you doll face. It's over at that point. Wow, it's only available to the EU? What? That can't be right. I'm in Australia. Anyways. You know, the double standard thing, right? Oh, excuse me. And like the first example that's pointed out here, which could be seen, like, quite frankly, okay, the way men and women are supposed to behave are everywhere different expectations, but it's particularly frustrating when they are treated differently for exhibiting similar behaviors. An assertive woman is called pushy or bitchy, while an assertive man is promoted. An aging woman is called a witch. We'll come back to, like, the witch trials thing as well. While an aging man is called a silver fox and can still have an acting career well into his 60s. A man is high-fived for his sexual prowess, while a woman is slut-shamed for sleeping around. Men who work long hours are workaholics, while career-focused women are selfish. One of the things I particularly notice is, you know, there are dudes at the top of Twitch. There are guys who are at the top of Twitch who are, using their particular talents to their advantage, whether that be high-end gaming or maybe they're particularly good at commentary or whatever it is. And when a woman uses what she has to her advantage, in the case of, say, Amaranth, who obviously uses her body to her advantage, she's gaming the system. Why is she gaming the system to get viewers if she's just using the assets she has available to her, which is exactly what the men on this platform are doing? Why is it suddenly a problem when a woman uses the assets available to her, when a man does the exact same thing? The thing about the witch trials is not about actual witches. I'm sure there were some actual pagan practices being punished. However, the actual witch trials themselves were more about dealing with deviant women. It was about keeping women in line, so they would burn a woman at the pyre for not abiding by their cultural standards, their social standards. It wasn't necessarily that there was some clairvoyant woman in the town who was mixing herbs and throwing chicken legs into a pot and boiling a stew that would predict the future. They were just finding that was an explicitly sexist thing. They were looking for women that did not abide by the church's teachings and putting them to death to put the other women in line. In the UK, it was used to dispossess women from land they legitimately owned. There you go. Which is entirely unsurprising. So we're roasting Ninja's dick over fire now? Yes. Notice big male streamers get a positive reinforcement for being mad 75% of the time, but female streamers get harassed if they do it, yes. Missed the point of the discourse? We're not roasting Ninja. We're just talking about the difference between how men and women on Twitch are particularly treated, not tweeted. I spend too much time on Twitter. If a man sleeps with 50 women, he's a stud. But when I do it, I'm a lesbian. Ergot? We're not fueled by ergot? What's ergot? Ninja needs to get his dick out. Oh, is that what you mean? Okay. Seen other women get suspended for the same stuff as Amaranth. It's more... Well, yeah, that's the thing too, is like Amaranth is also certainly in a position of power that other women on the platform do not get. That's a different kind of double standard. There are certainly women on this platform. Alinity is certainly one of them as well. Pokemon would probably be one. Where they've got some pull with Twitch itself because they make the platform money. They can get away with things that other streamers cannot. They did, however, hang 20 people for witchcraft, and they did it by English law. Yeah. Twitch is also inconsistent. I think the bathtub thing would have been allowed 2 or 3 years ago. The story was created. Which story? So hot tub streams when I can... Well, I don't want to do one, actually. Don't know who any of those people are. They're bigger streamers. I've heard some people actually raise concerns about the concept of hot tub streams because it's a big inflatable hot tub in a room that might be like a person's apartment, and they're filling it with water and then putting a full human body in it. And people are worried that, maybe the hot tub streams are a bad idea because they might collapse the floor. Beach streams, pool streams as well. Yeah, it's been a thing for a while. No hot tub stream from me, no. I don't trust this floor enough to do that. There's the cat, by the way. The UK government really needs to actually give out compensation for all the evil shit we export. They're not going to. Because colonialism is still going well and truly strong today. It hasn't stopped. It's just changed the ways in which we look at, old colonial behaviors and old, really reprehensible behaviors. It's like we look at them, they were bad things, but they're still happening in different ways. Would love to do bathtub streams. I think it'd be cool. Sorry for sniffling. I'm very sniffly. Colonialism and corruption, the Tory government in a nutshell. Yeah. Imagine minding your own business and a hot tub streamer just crashes into your apartment. Welcome to the Rogue Room, Noah DLC. If I get back in shape, I'm definitely doing a hot tub stream. Do it. Yeah, outdoors hot tub stream. What's this? You've sent me a 20... Oh, yeah, witchcraft, gender, and Marxism. Oh, gosh. It's that character that Abigail Thorne plays from way back when. Goodness me. Anyway, scented candles and a bubble bath with
Another
champagne. That
round.
sounds good.
One
Hey,
minute.
thank you for the 200 bits, Noah. Got a strong concrete floor. And Winona, thank you for the sub. Oh my goodness me. Somebody else cheer bits or
Welcome
something.
back,
Somebody else subscribe or
supporter
something.
of the cause.
Do it now. I'm begging. We might get a hype train going. Come on, do it. I'm fucking telling you right now. By the way, we're less than 100 followers off 4,000. That's pretty fucking pog, dude. I'm nearly at 4,000 followers. I don't really get caught up on stats all that much, but that's kind of a milestone. That's ridiculous. I think a bathtub is different context because it's something that is typically private and in the nude. You could do it though, like as a chill out, having a relaxing bath in
Another
underwear
round.
kind of thing.
On
There it
the-
is. Hype train incoming. Thank you, Grant. Now you can all contribute to that if you want. You'll have a limited time to earn exclusive emotes if you want to bump up my sub goal to... That should be at 3, I think, actually. Anyway, kitty cat. Kitty cat. Thank you for the hype train, folks. Should we try to get to level 2? We're at level 1. Look at the kitty cat. Look at the baby. Look at the baby. I do think there was definitely witch trials where people were burned at the stake. I don't think it's entirely a myth. You know? This is the thing. Winona, thank you for the 200 bits. I think a lot of people have these ideas that the ways that certain things are treated. No, I thank you for the sub. It's exaggerated. Yeah, I think a lot of these ancient myths that we have, these ancient thoughts we have. Ban Roark, thank you for the 200 bits, mate. But, you know, we oh my goodness. Folks,
Please
Emmy with
enjoy
100
all the
bits.
delights of the subscriber lounge.
There's always going to be exaggeration in these kinds of things. I heard that, yeah,
Another
like the
round.
main thing that I understand about the witch trials is it wasn't about magic. You know, it wasn't about actual witches. It wasn't about covens and all these kinds of things. It was about keeping women in
Another
line.
round.
And what they would do is they would tell the people it was witchcraft. You know, it wasn't actual witchcraft. Bathtub but fully clothed, playing Bloodborne. Get a Bloodborne cosplay going. Sit in the bath in that. And then play Bloodborne in the bath. Refer to yourself as being in the early crone phase. When does the crone phase start? Can I get started on the crone phase? Exaggeration is just for the patriarchy. Cementing the patriarchy, yeah. Dye the water red. Oh, yes. Excuse me. Well, it's certainly not 2/3 of the world. If you cover your chest, is it TOS? Well, I mean, I'm assuming so, yeah. I'm assuming so. Red bath bomb. I need to get a bath bomb. I should do a bath bomb. Haven't done one of them in a while. Chromed.
You are now one of us.
Thank you for gifting sub to Ben Winona. You legend. Going in full body armor, yes. Kitty. I'm holding him. He's not allowed to move. He has to stay. Him have to stay. Can we get to level 3? I promise I'll figure out something. Yeah, we're matching. We're matching. Witchcraft accusation making is just the Middle Ages version of women being harassed in general. Yeah, pretty much. It's like the assertion was that a woman was a witch because a woman didn't behave. You know, if you had a woman who just didn't subscribe to the model that a woman was supposed to be a wife and mother and all of this kind of thing, then the assertion would become witchcraft. She's a witch. She's not like all of the other good women. Look at her. She's not wearing her bonnet. Burn her at the stake. She is practicing witchcraft. Like, that's what it was. It wasn't, you know, it wasn't some woman in a cave boiling frogs. It was, you know. Wish Izzy was okay with being held. I read that at first, where it said health, and I was like, wish Izzy was okay with being cut in half. I don't know where I read the cut in half bit from. I got health, so that's where half came from. It's like...
Another round. On
Ben, thank you for the 300 bits. Thank you so much. It is a bit overkill, Jesus. Don't boil the froggies. Boiling frogs in a cave is my aesthetic. Stop it! You're biting me. That hurts. Back in the day, they burned I'm Not Like the Other girls at the stake, pretty much. They burned N-logs. Ow. You're an asshole. Jesus. He's just biting me. Okay, you can go away. Off you go. Matthew Hopkins used a retractable needle to condemn witches. A retractable needle? Cat loves chewing on your fingers. He's been digging his fucking claws in lately. It's a nightmare. I think he's angry at me because I made him go through a routine of antibiotics and he couldn't handle it. Had to shove these damn things down his throat before he would take them. And now he's pissed off at me and he's being a little shit. So I gotta regain his trust. It's not great. No, he's Smudge. He's not Frog. Although I can understand the confusion. Oh, good. Ah, okay. Okay, I just realized we've hit our sub goal for the day. Fucking Pog. Fucking Pog, mate. Didn't like his Miadison. No, he didn't. Talking about frog girls and atrazine. Oh, the idea was to stick a pin in a woman accused of witchcraft if they felt pain, they're not guilty. So you can see why he used a retractable one. Ah, I get it. I get it, yeah. It's all subterfuge. It's all using every manipulative tactic to assert that the woman is this and that and the other. And this is honestly, like, this kind of thing still happens in a certain way today, is using subversive language. You know, we don't have actual witchcrafts and burning at the stake these days. But it's interesting to see the language that some people use when it's time to demonize a woman in the media. They call her what are some of the languages? What's some of the language that's used? Hype train completed level 1. Thank you for the posture check, Lydia. There we go. We have Twitter for that now. Like one of the major things you'll hear is she's a what's the phrase? She's a vile woman, or like she's a let me think. I'm trying to think. You've collected all the level 1 emotes. I've collected all the level 1 emotes. I'm trying to think, what is it? There's certain phrases that are used today to deliberately, you know, turn people against a woman because she's a woman, because she might be assertive and, you know, might be trying to, I don't know. Do they say that about chemists? Josh Holm? I don't know who that is. Deliberately avoided media criticism of women, so you have no idea. Yeah, that's tricky, isn't it? Because there are, for example, cases right now like, do we have to deal with the fucking Fox News media? Whatever, here we go. Brittany Higgins, for example. You know, the woman who made the allegations that she was raped by a colleague in Parliament House, right? And if you look at the discourse surrounding her, there is so much dissension. There's so much doubt around her. Not like a vial of fluid, like vile, V-I-L-E, as in disgusting. You know, because she's made an allegation against a colleague in Parliament, there are so many people who are looking at her and treating her with absolute disdain by the sheer virtue that she's a victim who decided to come forward, and the assertion that they're putting out there is she must be making it up. She has to be. There's so many people who just outright, just because she's a woman making this accusation, she has to be lying about it. You know? Welcome to the Rogue Room, Jeremy. How you doing? Don't be gay means don't not have kids, which can be just as, hey kid, have more kids, but we never even try to do it the humane way. A one-child policy. I forget what their reasoning was for the one-child policy. So who is that woman? Let's talk about Brittany Higgins for a minute. Once a little-known political staffer. Excuse me. Well, let's read from the beginning. In less than 3 months, Brittany Higgins' life has been transformed. Once a little-known political staffer, the 26-year-old has been thrust into the national spotlight as the face of Australia's belated Me Too movement after blowing the whistle and publicly revealing allegations that she was raped by a colleague in March 2019 in Parliament House, like in, you know, effectively our White House, basically. Now, a day after meeting Prime Minister Scott Morrison and opposition leader Anthony Albanese in Sydney's Commonwealth Parliamentary offices, Ms. Higgins pauses for a moment to gather her thoughts when asked about the enormity of being thrust into the national spotlight. It's been surreal. It's been devastating, and like I said in the meeting with the Prime Minister, this has altered my life forever. It will have a long life impact on my trajectory about where I will go and what I will do. That's a privilege, and it's also very sad. Our Congress, but yeah, whatever. Anyway, she tells the Sun Herald and Sunday Age. I was so... Gotta go, Phage. Have a good one. Thank you so kindly for being here. I was so isolated and disempowered, and I felt fundamentally alone in the shame of this horrible event. Now I've come to terms with it and I'm able to speak about it, and that's been quite healing. Possessed of a preternatural poise and courage beyond her years, an idea Ms. Higgins dismisses, declaring, "I'm quite normal." She expresses careful disappointment about the lack of concrete outcomes arising from her meeting with the Prime Minister, and the not-quite apology in the room in which 3 lawyers, including a neutral observer, were present. Mr. Morrison thanked Ms. Higgins for her service to the Liberal Party and government, but as she puts it, both parties danced around the specifics of the alleged rape, and who knew what, when, and in which offices because of the delicate legal situation and ongoing investigation. At the start of the meeting, he made a concession that he was sorry for my feelings, but it was a qualified apology. It doesn't really mean much. But I don't think he can apologize for the conduct of the Minister of the Office, and so, within the confines of our limited conversation, that was as far as he could go, or as far as he was willing to go. The meeting ran over time. It was supposed to finish after an hour when Ms. Higgins expressed her disappointment at Mr. Morrison's unwillingness to state publicly his willingness to immediately reform the Members of Parliament Staff Act, under which advisors like Ms. Higgins are employed, and which gives MPs extraordinary power to arbitrarily sack staff. Anyway, shall we continue? One-child policy was a complete disaster because of the patriarchal structure of society. People only wanted boys, and girls' population was reduced dramatically. I think I recall hearing about that. Hey, look, Prime Gaming comes with a free sub. If you've got a Prime badge and you're not subscribed to me, I'm going to be very annoyed. Actually, you brought up a good point, sweet Katie. Don't remember if there were any specific dog whistles about Kristen Stewart, but she was heavily demonized by the media after she was found to have a relationship with someone who had power over her career and was twice her age. Yeah, I do recall that, actually. And she's had a lot of unfair demonization towards her, largely on the basis of her sex and her sexuality. You know, as far as I know, Kristen Stewart is at least bisexual by what we've been able to deduce, if not outright lesbian. But I mean, putting labels on it is always a complicated situation. Which just, you know, if someone's a lesbian, of course, especially, if a woman's a lesbian, it gives people an even further slant against that person's identity. Gives a lot of people an unfair attack on their person. Kristen Stewart. I'm not going for a Boy George aesthetic. I'm Dracula. Or I'm just, you know, looking however I like. Anyway. Also, biphobia? Yeah, exactly. It's Kristen Stewart, yeah. As an antinatalist, you personally think there should have a no-child policy. No more children. We have enough. You'll prime me in 10. Gave you prime to denims, but you've sufficiently made up for it. Wait, someone took your bit leader. Oh, well. A pan-curious? I'm in that boat. I'm in that pan-curious boat where I'm like, I don't know that I'm necessarily pansexual. I identify myself as a lesbian. However, I am... Let me think. You know, Joke loved BG's aesthetic. BG? What have I missed? Yeah, I think pan is a good sort of a catch-all of like, I could technically be attracted to anyone sort of thing. Which is why I think a lot of people go for it. You know, it's just kind of like, you know, I could be attracted to whoever I could be attracted to. We could do anything. You know? Anyone who shows me a tiny bit of attention sexual. Oh, Boy George. Okay, yeah. Well, yeah, as far as I recall, Boy George had some good aesthetics. Are the aliens cute? But, like, me personally, I just prefer the definition of lesbian because I am specifically attracted to women. I know that. You know, I know that's where my attractions lie. I want, you know, if I were to pursue a partner, it would more than likely be a woman. You know. Let's continue with this. So this in particular, okay, there is a willingness for reform. Mr. Morrison spoke of a need for clarity and a consistent process for MPs and staffers to have a one-stop shop for political staffing matters, and he did make mention of the need for an independent human resources function. I saw this as an opportunity to show leadership. I said this is an opportunity and a potential legacy item for him, something he could be remembered for favorably. But with Sex Discrimination Commissioner Kate Jenkins leading a review of Parliament House culture and Stephanie Foster from the Prime Minister's own department leading a separate review, one which is expected to hand down findings in the next couple of months, Mr. Morrison declined to commit to specific changes immediately. After the meeting, Mr. Morrison said in a statement both parties were determined to reform the parliamentary workplace and that I am committed to achieving an independent process to deal with these difficult issues. Ms. Higgins has 3 key demands for change to Parliament House as a workplace which would, she believes, change the culture of the place. An independent parliamentary human resources authority, reform to make it harder to fire staff, and transparency around how the secretive government star chamber, the body that vets staffers before they are hired, works. And for herself, Ms. Higgins has returned to university in Queensland, joined her local Rotary Club, and dreamed of becoming a Rhodes Scholar one day. All aliens are cuties. Lesbian rip meant what for me? Yeah, no man thanks. Where's the cat? Oh, he's just sitting there. Anyway, it's 10:40. I haven't taken a break yet, nor have I played any ads this entire stream. So some folks have been coming in and getting hit with ads, I'm sure. I'm going to play an ad break now. Be right back. We'll come back in a moment. I'm also going to change the text on this help yourself to a drink thing at some point, because that's a good idea, actually. Anywho, 90 seconds of commercials. BRB. Don't go away, folks. It is warm enough for your girl to take off the cape. How's it hanging? We're back. Why does my hair look like this? What the hell's going on? Anyways, I'm living for this hat. This is just a gorgeous hat. I'm just gonna live in this thing. I love it. Oh my fucking god, I love it. Can I do? And by the way, for the record, if you're an Aussie, get some of these bitches. Holy shit, they are amazing. These are so fucking good. Byron Bay Cookies Macadamia Shortbread Bites. They are fucking awesome. I wanted to pat you. No. I'm not trying to play. Like, okay. Fucking smudge. Jesus Christ. Hang on. Where is it? Yeah, let me just... Okay, before we do this, I have to show you something. And then we'll play with the cat. Not frog. I need to find occasion to wear these out. Which I'm sure I will. Oh no, don't get stuck. Check these out. These are pretty fucking pog, dude. Oh, I found what I was looking for. Check these out, man. Oh, yes. That works. Hey, get off. Alright, T-Girl plays with Pussy live on stream. Oh, goodness, okay. All the fashion you love triggers your sensory issues? Look. Burn some of that energy off, you aggressive little shit. Because Jesus fucking Christ. Over here. Look, over here. There it is. Tarantula time. Holy shit, it's John Wick. Oh, he's a good captain. I think he's a bit sick of it. Let's try the other one. Let's try his other favorite toy. Where is it? Where's your other favorite toy, Cat? It's around here somewhere. Let me put these stupid sunglasses away. Fuck, I hate those. I really do loathe and detest them. They are awful. I don't even know if you can hear me over there or not. I can't find the thing. Look at the floor. There you go. I can't find the tape measure. He loves the tape measure, but I must have put it somewhere and forgotten where I put it. I can't spot it. It's on your back now, you can't get it. What do you even call those arm things? These are called arm warmers. I quite like them. They are pretty cringy, but I mean, I've been looking at actual legitimate leather braces lately. I might actually get a pair of actual leather braces. And fuck it, a shoulder pad. Why not? I saw a place that was selling like just a generic cosplay leather armor shoulder pad. And I was like, I'm getting that just for the hell of it. Can you imagine? I'm going to be getting around with a shoulder pad for the fucking hell of it. Why not? Let's have fun. Just get a full suit of leather armor. I would. I'd do it. I actually had somebody compliment me on my appearance, on my outfit today at the university, because I tend to get around in pretty standout outfits. Ignore the boots. You know, I like to dress myself up now. I enjoy this quite a bit. So I pride myself on looking cute. Look at him. Look at him. Are you done yet? Can I drink my White Claw Ruby Grapefruit Hard Seltzer? Not sponsored, by the way. Because I've never tried this before, so. If it sucks, I'm blaming like Sir Caitlin or something, because I'm pretty sure Sir Caitlin drank White Claw at some point. Come on. I think you're done. I think he's puffed. Thankfully, I think he is puffed. So that might tire him out for a bit. Happily stream a full plate. Do it. Fucking do it, dude. It has hints of ruby grapefruit, because that's what the flavor is. Now I think I'm definitely leaning into that Boy George thing. I don't know if he ever wore like these kinds of gloves, but for some reason that seems like something Boy George would wear. I don't know why. I'm not exactly a consumer of Boy George's music. Maybe I should change that. Maybe I should get into more, more different music, to what I normally listen to, which is just pretty much universally variants of synthwave at this point, and like 2 The Who songs. The Who, the Mongolian metal band, not the English rock band. So back to this hot tub streamers double standards thing. I'm gonna have another thing. I'm getting a base of White Claw with notes of ruby grapefruits and a bouquet of aluminum can. Oh wait, I shouldn't have bitten into it, eh? SDL got cancelled. That was a whole thing, wasn't it? He's still around. He's still doing whatever he's doing. He's still about. You can't cancel someone forever if they've got enough influence. Actually, you know what I want to look up? Someone else has got kind of cancelled on streamer Twitter recently. Socialism Done Left. You're a victim of trafficking. I'm sorry to hear that. Variations of femboys, just, yeah, at this point. Not noticing anything particularly, like, I think most of his, follower loss would have been on, no, okay. I don't really care to talk about cancel culture anyway. I think the whole thing's a stupid concept. It's consequence culture, at the end of the day. If you do a thing that ultimately leads to having consequences, that's how things work. What happened is he was in a Discord, I don't remember which Discord, and there's a bunch of messages in his, there's a bunch of messages listed by him that are extremely racist, sexist, transphobic in particular. It's just a whole thing. There's a whole situation that got leaked, and people were trashing him for it. It's usual stuff. Aluminium. If I'm not mistaken, actually, the original pronunciation is aluminum, and we changed it to aluminium. I heard that. I don't know how true that is. Oh, there's a bunch of them. Hello, Smonk. How you doing? You have free reign to just smack those ones away. I haven't seen that one before. That's a new one. How absolutely dross. Can you imagine being that boring of a person? Please get a hobby. Yeah, in America it's legal. I knew of that. I know in certain states it's 12, yeah. I imagine it's not too common, but it's not surprising at the same time. Mm. Four chinners. God, that's good. You can buy a 12-year-old bride in America. I'm entirely unsurprised. This macadamia cookie. Holy shit! I'm buying another packet of those because they're amazing. I found those at Woolworths. They might be elsewhere. Yeah. They've got other variants. They've got these milk choc chunk. I can't even show you the full picture because it's microscopic. But yeah, baked in Byron Bay. I'm going to have to try these ones next. I found a new addiction. Holy shit. Like that's... yeah. Right-wingers are 100% against raising the marriage age federally. What is the federal age? US has around 40 to 50,000 child marriages a year, and it's the cleanest states of... well, yeah, I'm not surprised by that. Duh. No harassment, although the definition of harassment... so hang on, okay with boycotting people en masse. Let me come back to this message. I want to see this message. Where is it? Okay with the boycotting of people... this is cool. I can see the entire quote thread. That's awesome. Okay with people boycotting people en masse as long as it doesn't involve doxing, death threats, incitement of suicide, or swatting. Yeah. Lister, I can't pronounce the first part of that name. Welcome to the Rogue Room. How you doing? No harassment, although the definition of harassment seems to vary from person to person. Somebody posted today about how they posted a twit longer that basically said that they know someone in the wake of everything that's going on at the moment now. I don't know if it's specifically related to this, but they are currently grieving somebody who has taken their own life. And I think that person may have been a victim of the kind of harassment that certain people online face. Remember, have you seen, for example, ContraPoints' cancelling video, where she talks about how a bunch of people online, cancelled her for having, what's his name? Buck Angel, for having Buck Angel voicing 10 seconds of an audio clip in a, 47-minute video, or something like that, For, that very short time frame of Buck Angel doing a voice line. She was absolutely harassed from all corners of the internet for giving any sort of a platform to Buck Angel. And the situation there, of course, is just that, it's not that, a lot of people have this idea in their heads. A lot of people have this idea in their heads of being cancelled, or the consequences of whatever it is that you're doing, the consequences of saying a certain thing, is going to lead to your entire life being destroyed. There is very little to suggest that is the case. Yeah, he's NB-phobic. He uses the term transsexual to define himself and thinks he is distinct from transgender people, which, we come around the labels thing. Anybody can define themselves however they want to. Language is stupid. But he has had some very transphobic viewpoints, which is kind of strange for a transgender person, or transsexual person, if that's the way he wants to refer to himself. Wonder if cancel kinks will become a thing. You like my top? Thank you. It's got a grease stain on it, though. I got a droplet of, I think it's mostly gone. It's barely visible. It's like a drop. So he's been a dubious ally, and Buck Angel... she's been a dubious ally to NBs, and Buck Angel is trash, yeah. So there's obvious criticisms you could make. Travesty James, welcome in.
Friends.
The Transmed as well, yeah. What was I doing? I was doing this. There we go. It's a cute top. Thank you. I like this top. It's quite nice. There are too many transphobes out there. It's a weird thing. People obviously at the moment we're dealing with the situation around Caitlyn Jenner. And then Blair White is just a consistent transphobe. How'd your stream go, James? You love the outfit, thank you kindly. I'm quite a fan. I did have my cape on, it's over there on the bed, but I'm just like chilling out now. It's warm enough, the heater's on. I'm drinking a White Claw apparently. Yeah, exactly, Sammy. Like, that was the point of the cancelling video, which I think is like a solid movie-length video. I gotta rewatch it, it's quite good. Where essentially it boils down to people lost their fucking minds over a 10-second audio clip of him, which does not, in any way does she align with any of his particular viewpoints on any of this kind of thing. She doesn't agree with what he stands for, but he's a notable trans person who happened to sound a bit like pencil mustache guy whose name escapes me. And that's why she went to him. Primarily as he sounds very similar to what's his name? John Waters, that's it. And she thought, I'll give a fellow trans person a bit of a moment in this video. And the internet lost their fucking minds over it. Yeah, you do have to be careful who you platform, but she wasn't really platforming him. It was literally 10 seconds of a voice line of him quoting somebody else. It wasn't really a platforming kind of thing. It's not like she brought him into one of her videos to talk about his political stances or anything like that. And yeah, the internet went crazy. There was a whole bunch of people harassing her. It sent her into a pretty severe downward spiral, which I think contributed to her current opioid addiction that she's dealing with. That plus a number of other factors is now she's dealing with quite literally being addicted to opium to cope with any number of different things, honestly. I do worry, But anyway, copium? I could do with some copium. So I can cope with the state of the world. I'm increasingly becoming a nihilist, I've noticed. I'm voting for Giant Asteroid 2024. Wipe us out, we're done. I only learned about him after the discourse hit. Yeah, I can understand that too. I knew of him vaguely, but I never really knew specifically anything he'd said until she put out the cancelling video that talked about the things he said. I just knew, Buck Angel, the dude with a pussy. That was his whole shtick when he was in porn, His whole plug, the reason he got any sort of fame in the first place, was he's the dude with a pussy, The cool Diogenes nihilism or the incel shit? The I don't care, wipe us out thing. It's more the fact that, increasingly I'm reaching this attitude of I can't find the passion anymore in a number of things. I can't find the meaning anymore, I'm not necessarily, I don't actually legitimately believe, yes, bring a comet to wipe out the species, but I'm just kind of like, I don't care at this point. And I still do care. I still do have passion and feeling and emotion and things. It's just that there's this attitude in my head, which is I can't touch my head because the hat's in the way. There's this attitude in my head where I'm just like, if it all ended tomorrow, am I gonna give a shit? If I get diagnosed with cancer and they say I've got 3 months to live, I'm like, for me personally, I'm just gonna be like, well, I had a good run. Suicidal ideation, but planet-wide? Almost, honestly, in some ways. But it's kind of, I don't want to not care about things. I do want to have a passion for things, and I do. It's just, yeah. So the way certain people act, especially online, leaves me with this distinct feeling of like, Dracula had the right idea. Part of me having a hard time transitioning is that I became too nihilist first. Basically, you've been there, you don't want to fucking die, but continuing living doesn't sound funny. That, yeah, I'm definitely at that point where I'm just like, I'm doing the things that I love doing. I love study, I love learning, I love streaming. I love going to the gym. I have a routine that fits me. but, you know, at the same time, it just all feels bleak a lot of the time. You look forwards, and the future doesn't look like there's going to be any upward momentum. It doesn't look like there's going to be any significant change that gives me optimism. It's hard to find optimism. When you feel that way, you go to Live Leak to remind yourself you're not being literally blown up by American drone strikes. It's completely fair to if someone refuses to forgive her, but the constant harassment and shit posting about it is just sad. Yeah, exactly. We just have to bumble our way through life the best we can and try to have a good time before it ends. Exactly. That's what you got to try to do. Hello, Evo. Not Valkyrie, but hello, Valkyrie as well. Looking for things to do whilst waiting to die. That's a good way to put it. Living for the goth vibes today. I've got to redo these. I've got to find a velvet black nail polish. Give me a velvet black nail polish. It's got to be some. It's got to be some. Let me see. Not on eBay. Welcome to the Rogue Room, sweet Katie, by the way. They are sword earrings and sword necklace. Check out my little swords. They're different swords. These ones have got gemstones in them. Oh, excuse me. Russia makes you realize nothing is nearly as bad as we think. But yeah, all on a sword lesbian who has a sword. Check it out.
I see you.
Hey, Heemed, how's it going, dude?
Welcome.
Hello, friends. How you going? Welcome to the Rogue Room. My name is Abigail Beck, the host of the Rogue Room. Conveniently enough, it's the place where I hang out and talk about sexism, apparently, although we've kind of gotten incredibly off track. I've been meaning to raid you, quite frankly, and I haven't gotten around to doing it. Yes, I want matte black. I could do a top. I could do a black and then a top coat that's matte, yes. I don't have a matte top coat, though. I'll find one. What'd you get up to tonight? What'd you discuss tonight? Tell us all about it. Well, I'm apparently now a basic bitch. Which honestly brings us back around to our sexism thing that we've been discussing today. The whole basic bitch terminology. Talked about this insane incel thread on Twitter. Oh gosh, you have to link me to this. I live for their, for reading their justifications, their attitudes. Can get a matte top coat at David Jones. I have to stop you. I mean, I'll check out Chemist Warehouse, but I'm not going to David Jones because I refuse to pay $199.95 for a nail polish. Mr. Miscarriage, welcome to the Rogue Room. You guys gonna come onto your stream for a chat? That sounds pretty good. I've got to get into that sort of thing, honestly. I've got to get into having people on the stream. I actually have someone at university who I really want to bring on because she knows a fuck ton about indigenous issues in Australia. Excuse me. Yeah, she knows a ton about indigenous issues in Australia. She's really good, really really good at elucidating her points. And I actually said to her today, it's like, I should get you to come on my stream. I stream Monday to Friday, 9 p.m. And we should have a discussion about this kind of thing, because it's a good idea to get those things out there. Because, not a lot of people realize what's going on with the indigenous people in Australia. With their land, their heritage, their culture, and all that. Here's the thread. Thank you kindly. Matt Topcoat. Okay, there's a few of them. Revlon. Sally Hansen. Is Sally Hansen ethical? I can't recall. Oh dear lord. I'm bookmarking this for a read later. Goodness gracious. Fuck reading, theory. I read Twitter threads. Good lord. You gotta bounce. Thank you so kindly for the raid, Heemed. Have a good one. Gotta send you this article you found about a wax spiritual lady who climbed Uluru and then claimed she spirit walked, found another planet. Inside of it. It was offensive. Is Sally Hansen an MLM? It sounds like one, doesn't it? Sally Hansen sounds like an MLM. Which gives me these, these vibes of But the thing is, here's the thing. You love the hat? Thank you kindly. I love it too. I'm living in it. No. MLM stands for multi-level marketing or multi-level management. Essentially pyramid schemes. I know a lot about this shit. And And the effective notion, of course, is if you get trapped in an MLM, the idea is that you're going to spend a significant amount of time, trying to use your existing social network to turn them into customers. So you will have men-loving men. That too. However, Marxist-Leninist Maoist. Stop. Okay, so you have, for example, you'll meet a friend. Let's call her Susan. And Susan has just started selling leggings. She started selling leggings. And what Susan? I think her name is Susan. Anyway, what Susan does is she comes to you. Susan Wojcicki. She comes to you and she says, oh yeah, I'm going to make tons of money selling this. You should get in on it too. I'll give you a referral code. Now, the way that these business models generally operate is they might actually have a product, but there are pyramid schemes that don't have a product, which makes things even, when the MLM has a product, it's murky because they are actually legitimately selling something. But the notion, the idea is that there's one person at the top, and then they'll tell 4 people under them, I've got a product. I'll sell you the product and you sell it onwards to customers, right? But at the same time, I want you to recruit even more people. Each of you 4, go and find another 4 people and sign them up. And they have to pay an upfront cost to buy the product. So a lot of people get roped into the idea of being in a pyramid scheme, a multi-level management scheme, because they think they're running an independent business. But what's really happening is an actual business doesn't require you to legitimately buy the stock with your own money before you're actually making any money. Like, businesses do buy stock. However, it's quite a bit different to the way MLMs work. MLMs, will require you to buy a box of tights or whatever it is, a box of essential oils or whatever it is. And then you have to sell those onwards to make a profit. It's specifically, it's predatorily targeted towards especially single mothers. Okay? And I didn't even mean for this to be a thing. I didn't even mean for this to be a part of this, but this does lead into the sexism thing. Sort of ethical, okay. This does lead into the sexism topic of tonight because multi-level management schemes, by and large, are geared towards single mothers. Because they, generally speaking, society considers that they won't have time to work a normal job. They'll be too busy taking care of the kids and all this kind of stuff. So I think it's perfect for a single mother to do this because she's probably going to have a mother's group that she'll go to with her friends. And then she'll have the potential for customers to sell a product to. Right? So that's the predatory attitude that happens in there. Anyways, pyramid schemes where there's a worthless product instead of nothing. It's all very culty. They try and get you to consume only their media, talk to only the people within the MLM, and to act like the people who make money. Turns out that the median payout for an MLM member is about $20 per year. Yeah, it's a massive scam. And yes, indeed, capitalism is a pyramid scheme with the commodity form being based social relations and abstraction of value that is inaccurate. It is more like an MLM, but MLMs are very reduced to capitalism's foundations, basically. And the things that, like the essential oils, the tights, by the way, Origami Artist and Ally in HD, or Ally in HD. Please tell me if it's Ally or Ally. Because there's a store I bought something from, and it's called Ally, as in the woman's name. I thought it was Ally. Anyway, trickle-down economics equal M&Ms. I don't need M&Ms. Anyways, tried to overhear a woman being roped into an MLM when you were at a restaurant a couple of years ago. Short for Allison, so Ally. Am I right, Ally? It's not like ally, like queer ally or something like that. M&Ms. If you want to know a lot about MLMs, watch Illuminati. She rags on them all the time. Telltale Atheist also dissects them as a cult. He applies the Byte model to them, and they're literally cults. You get a sense of loyalty to the MLM because the model is that they sell you. They give you this bizarre notion that all it takes is for you to be personable enough to reach out to as many customers as possible, and those customers, of course, they're gonna want to buy your product. It's so ridiculous. And some of them do sell scam products, some of them just sell products. The thing that's the most notable example, the essential oils thing. I can buy essential oils at a scent shop if I had a diffuser, which I don't, and I don't intend to get one yet, but I do want one because my mother has one that changes colors, and I want to get a diffuser that changes colors and put it on my shelf because it'd be cute, because the lighting thing, you know, not the scents, but the essential oils is a big thing in the MLM scene, and the situation there, of course, is there are physical stores, proper brands that are set up like an actual business, a legitimate business, that have a reasonable amount of stock and a more legitimate business model. And to that end, you're probably going to be paying a significantly cheaper amount for the same product compared to if you go to an MLM. Like, the whole thing and the product that the MLM is selling is significantly lower quality. You know, had a loved one roped into an MLM is really distressing because it can be really hard to convince them it's a scam, and then you're worried they'll be in the hole for thousands of dollars. Yeah, exactly. You're tired, you might go to bed. Radio Fox, have a good one. Have any suggestions for how to help someone caught in an MLM? Oh, excuse me. Sister lives in another country and has been snared by Arbonne and have no idea how to approach it. I'm not sure, honestly. It seems like a very, very tricky area. Because they do coerce you into thinking this is such a good thing for you. This is like the notion of it being you are going to run your own business. You know, that's how they treat it. It's like, you're going to run your own business. You're going to be so successful. You're going to be incredibly wealthy. They really rope people in. It's like playing the lottery. You know, a lot of people get coerced into this mindset because they think they're going to win, essentially. And yeah, in the same way that people buy lottery tickets because they think they're gonna win. Yeah, thanks, Bodwick. It plays on people's greed. It does. And the thing is, so does capitalism. Obviously, you know, we are expected to go to work. We are expected to get a job. But the thing is, generally speaking, a job will pay you a regular wage. Is the idea. There are issues around wages, of course. But, you know, the situation with the MLM thing is they'll convince you that people who go and work regular jobs are a bunch of sheep just playing into the system. Whereas you're an independent businesswoman. You're doing everything in your power to succeed on your own merits. But that's not how that works. You know? If you work for a supermarket chain, there's going to be enough profit coming in that they can afford to pay you a wage. Excuse me. Hello, Smudge. If they form naturally, how could you claim they're not a part of the free market? What have I missed? Monopolies are not free markets. Well, yeah, they're not. What are you doing? He's stretching out. Hang on. Where is him? Look him. You want to know why that remark, though? I will say this. He's a beautiful baby, but I can't pat him at the moment. He's not behaving. He's being mean. The issue, though, don't buy from businesses that exploit humans for profit. That's going to be virtually every business, though. Or, at the very least, if you try to buy from the businesses that do not exploit their human workforce, there's very few options and they're very expensive. This is why it's hard to go vegan for a lot of people, for example. There are vegan options that are not expensive, but a lot of people have this idea ingrained in their head, I want to have hot dogs for dinner, I want to have burgers for dinner, and things like that. So they go and they buy the vegan alternatives, which are twice the price. You know? I would like to go vegan, but, you know, I haven't planned it out yet. I think I could do it. I could definitely do it. I just haven't plotted it out yet. Dietary-wise. Because I'd also need to think about things that my kids would eat. That makes things difficult. But, you know, I know enough about dietary science that I could feasibly go vegan in a week if I wanted to. But it would also require a lot of planning to make sure I do everything correctly. If you're a vegetarian, you just live off ramen. Dirt poor, so you can't afford to buy local. It's twice the price of the major brands, and that's on purpose. You know, we should be ideally subsidizing the people who are producing the food to the point where people who generally can't afford to eat will be able to afford to eat. But yeah, a lot of people can't afford going vegan. It is very expensive, especially if you want to have any sort of luxury food. I could do it in a week. That's what I mean. I could change my diet in a week if I wanted to. But, well, I could change my diet in a week if I wanted to and I had the budget. You know, I'd need to plan it. I'd need to sit down for an afternoon, write down everything that I'm going to prepare and eat, write down all the groceries, and stick to it, which would be tricky, but it only takes 3 weeks to develop a habit, you know. So if I got into that, I could do that. It would require me drastically changing my dietary habits, but all it really takes is 3 weeks. Can't even grow your own food because you don't own land to grow it on. Live in an apartment, and even if you did, not necessarily physically equipped to garden all year long. That's another thing too. It's like, for a lot of people, it can be very difficult to grow your own food. Let's just tax the fuck out of animal exploitation. There are a lot of solutions to these things. A lot of solutions to oh, well, yeah, one afternoon in a few weeks to reduce so much exploitation. I can do it. I will solve capitalism by going vegan. I do agree. Like, it's not, like, individual activism does nothing. You know, a single person deciding to go vegan is not going to change anything. I'd need to change a lot of people's minds, and even then, it's not just about eating vegan, you know. The ideal situation is that enough people go vegan that the non-vegan industries, the non-vegan food industries feel the weight of that. And they're just like, oh shit, no one's eating our food anymore. Thus, it's no longer profitable to continue exploiting these animals in the way that they do. This is also one of the justifications in my head as for why I don't go vegan. Is like, realistically, I do enjoy meat and animal byproducts enough, and I don't think my impact is going to make a difference. It is something you can do in an afternoon in a few weeks, yes. Anyone can do it. Sit down, plan a diet out, plan a grocery list out, plan recipes, you know, look up vegan recipes and dietary things. I'm familiar enough with it that I could do it. But it's not going to change anything. If I go vegan in the next month, and my kids go vegan, which I wouldn't put them through because there are still a number of things dietarily they need as being kids that are under the age of 10. They need a number of nutrients that I can't give them. But still, you know, I'm not going to change the world myself. Meat should be more of a special occasion thing, closer to how it used to be before the 20th century. I think I can agree with that. You know, I have considered that, actually. I've considered doing the veggie thing and like maybe doing once a week I'll have chicken, fish, steak, whatever. Which might be an easy way to skew into it if you really want to go vegan. And ultimately, if you do go vegan, it's a personal choice to sort of alleviate the notion of your own ethical compliance in the system itself. It's less like, it's most certainly an activist notion to go vegan. Going vegan is a political statement. It is. But it's more to take the weight off your own shoulders of, you know, I'm not consuming this. I'm not being a part of this system. If every item that was made through child slavery had a very convenient sticker on it to tell you it was made through child slavery, would you then avoid those products? A fair few people would. A lot of people don't like the notion that a lot of people simply avoid the idea that child slavery exists in significant parts of the world, and that is the reason that the Western world has a ton of the luxuries that they do. You know, when you see something that says made in China or made in Bangladesh or made in wherever, you know, what is that message really saying to you? You know, made in certain countries where labor laws are nowhere near as intense as they are in the Western world, in America, in Australia. You know, why then should we know? I think we should apply the same to meat. I'm kind of arguing in favor of veganism, not against it. Ice cream machines aren't usually broken, they're just hard to clean, and the workers don't necessarily have the time or desire to clean them. True. Don't buy Nestle, for example. I actually did that for a bit. I don't think I specifically buy Nestle now. There's nothing I can think of that I regularly buy that is Nestle. But I don't actively refuse to buy their products anymore. But there was a big Nestle boycott thing going on a few years ago, which obviously didn't do anything because Nestle's still around doing exactly what Nestle does. That hasn't changed. And, yeah, find it boring when people think it wouldn't make any change at all, so therefore not do it. I can understand that. I think a lot of people, this honestly sort of cycles back around to the nihilism thing we were talking earlier. We've kind of veered heavily off sexism. This does kind of come around to the nihilism thing I was talking about earlier, where it's like a part of me is just like, why bother? You know, I want to be as environmentally conscious as I possibly can, and I try. But it is easy to just, and again, a lot of people do. A lot of typical people don't look deeply into this stuff. A lot of people just ignore the real issues that affect the world. And, you know, there are those who outright mock anyone who decides to go vegan, or outright mock anyone who decides to care about the environment, outright deride those who dare to have an activist slant. And those people are contributing even, and especially when you got people like Isaac Butterfield, for example, whose entire shtick, fucking hell. Excuse me. Where was I going with this? What was I saying? I forgot my point because I had a belch stuck in my throat. I was going to mute the microphone and turn away, but then I'm like, no, I've had a long-term habit of belching into the microphone. I'm not going to stop now. Designing things to break on purpose is not capitalism, it's ripping... No, that is capitalism, though. Because the idea there, the planned obsolescence, for example, is that the thing is going to break and you're going to need to spend more money to buy another thing. And that's by design. The thing is designed for you to have it for a while, then it'll break, they'll produce a new thing so that you'll spend more money, i.e. giving them more capital. Like Apple phones, yes, Apple phones, Androids, all of them are designed to break after a while. So that you, yeah, planned obsolescence. Work in automobile electrification. While you feel good about helping people replace IC cars, one of the major material components in batteries is cobalt, which is almost entirely mined from the Congo by child and essentially slave labor. Yeah. Is it gay to say that burping is a sexist? What? I think it's fucked that it's on the consumer to boycott something if the company is doing horrendous shit. Fucking don't even need to read the rest of it. Bingo, yes. This is the thing, is we can be individual activists, we can be vegan, we can be environmentally conscious about the brands we buy, which makes things difficult because, you know, if you want to buy more ethically sourced food and clothing and all that, you're going to be up for a lot more money than if you were to just buy the typical brands, you know. But the ultimate thing is, at the end of the day, the society that we live in, we can speak out against it, we can criticize the system, which is why I hate when anyone says, oh, you hate capitalism, but you buy iPhone. Want a Samsung, not that it makes a fucking difference. You know, I hate when people are like, oh, you live in capitalism, but you contribute to it. Yeah, I buy stupid shit all the time. Shut the fuck up. But we are allowed to criticize the system in which we live and still live in it because we kinda don't have a fucking choice. And this is why, like, you know, major activists who can actually contribute in some way, shape, or form, tend to be wealthier people, tend to be people who have more money, you know. Live in the world, yet you dislike parts of the world? Hypocrite that you are for not being a Panglossian iPhone Vuvuzela 400 Gorillion. You hate capitalism, but you still buy things? iPhone, Venezuela, bottom text, 100 billion debt. Just finished reading the Twitter thread posted. I should look at it. If you don't like... Yes, I hate that one too. If you don't like your job, just get a different one. A lot of people don't have that choice. The kid, Aspirin, Colorado, welcome to the Rogue Room. The kid who worked at the hotel chain who lost his job after he had the mental breakdown. I think he might have quit or he might have been fired. I'm not sure. But at the end of the day... You know, people were telling him that he shouldn't be working, he should get another job, and it's like, do you realize the system under which he lives? This is a kid who is being absolutely abused by a customer. And he didn't have a choice but to be in that situation. At the end of the day, he did not have the choice. And quite frankly, he is probably going to have a hard time finding a new job. That kid deserves to work with dogs. There were several messages from him, I don't know if they were tweets or Reddit threads or whatever, where he mentioned he just loves dogs, he loves animals, he just want to work with animals. That kid deserves to work at like a vet clinic or a rescue shelter. He deserves it. I'm saying it right now. He deserves to work with animals. Because that's the thing that he is passionate about, that's the thing he loves most. You know, a dog is not going to set off that kind of reaction. Your government is genociding your people. Why don't you just leave? Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I felt nothing but empathy for him as well. I didn't watch the video. I only read about the subject. Because to watch that kind of stuff would be incredibly triggering to me who has had mental breakdowns. You know, where you get into such a state where you are dissociated from reality. You see and you hear and you feel everything that's going on, but you cannot connect back to the real world. You cannot come back down. You just need to wait it out, basically. Yeah, I refuse to watch the video. It would absolutely fucking trigger me. I'd be in tears. I couldn't. But yeah, that's ultimately a part of the problem is that, you know, someone actually came into chat. Oh, hang on. Your cousin's an activist, got banned from Australia's Parliament Road. That sounds pretty pog, not gonna lie. And, you know, I've done some activist stuff before. I did the Women's March in March. It was the March for, literally the number 4, Women's March for Justice on March 15th. You couldn't plan it for the 4th, guys? You couldn't plan the March for Justice on the 4th of... Irrelevant. You know. That video hurt you to watch as someone who has had way too many public breakdowns. And that's another thing, right? It's like, the society in which we live... Tiny Dancer, how you doing? The society in which we live encourages that kind of thing to happen. It encourages the kinds of stress levels that would push a mentally ill person over that brink. You know, I dare say the situation in that video was an inevitability for that kid. It was gonna happen eventually. There was going to be a customer that would confront him that would be such an absolute shit cunt that it would break him. Don't want to watch a man have a legitimate meltdown in response to utterly horrifying circumstances. I don't know if we have an update on how he is now, but he was in a state. You know, he was posting on Reddit, talking about his experience, talking about how he just wants to die, wants to disappear. Like, he was saying some really dark shit. And I really would like a positive update from him. He said he shaved his entire head. You know, that's not a reasonable response to that kind of situation because he was not in a reasonable state. You know, I really feel for that kid. I do. The octopus, you like my octopus? Let me show you my octopus. Hold on. I have to now. I don't have a choice. Do you mean this octopus? Wait, what happened? He was a different color a minute ago. It's the tea turtle reversible octopus. They're adorable. Hello, Lemon and Lemon's mum. They are gorgeous. The octoplush. Angie octopus. And they say he shouldn't be working when the truth is more that the aggressor shouldn't have been acting aggressive. Exactly. That's what transracial is. I shouldn't laugh at that. He apparently deleted his Reddit account. I really hope we get an update. Also, I want to do this. The original octopus plushie thingy. They have more, as far as I know. Dude, can you stop moving everything around? Here we go, look. I'm just going to plug this. Angie. They have other ones. They have a fox. They have a panda and red panda. They have axolotls. Unicorns. A little wolf. There's a cat and a kitten. Kitten corn. There's a ghost. There's a raccoon. Oh my god. Why did I do this? Yes, there's a panda that turns into a red panda. You want the gay one? They're all pretty gay. Just literally toys. It's yeah. They might have a seal. They've got so many. I wouldn't be shocked, honestly. I love this one. I need to get this one. The fucking spider. I've got 3 plush spiders now. I need more plush spiders. I don't see a seal. There's a bunch of unicorns, though. If anyone finds a plush spider online, send me the link. Or drop it in the window shopping point of my part of my Discord. If you're not already in the Discord, type ! Discord in the chat. Giant Aragog plushie. Oh my god, I need to see this. You got one the other day. One of the... You have Lucas the spider? I got Lucas. You can't see him because you're in the way, chat. I've got a Lucas the spider. Tiny little one. This is the gay way to being a furry. Spiders are spooky. I love spiders. I've got a redback over there on my Hearthstone. You can see Lucas now. See, I got Lucas the spider, and I've got the Minecraft tarantula. I adore spiders. And this over here is Vess, my actual living tarantula, who's hiding from the entire world. Can you come out, you lazy bitch? Anyway. Yeah. There was actually one time where she was hiding up in the top corner of her enclosure and you could actually see her on stream. That was really cool. A life-size Furret and Mareep plushies. I saw... This is a bad thing. I'm not into Pokemon. Have I seen the clip with the girl on the time of the month where the BF throwing snacks until she changes the plushie to Happy Wheel? No? Is that a joke video or... what was I going to say? I forgot. I've forgotten. Let me think. No. Oh, yeah, the Pokemon. I'm not a huge Pokemon fan. I did like watching it as a kid. I did enjoy the setting and everything. But the one thing that I do love about Pokemon is Eevee and the Eeveelutions. And I found out, at least at my local EB Games, they've got at least Jolteon and the fire one. And I'm just like, if there's a full set, this is a very bad thing for me. This is a very bad thing for me. I hope you understand. There was no base Eevee though, which sucks because base Eevee is based. Anyway, favorite Eeveelution. I think the fairy one was my favorite. Okay, here we go. There is an update apparently. An update of sorts. Scroll towards the bottom. Let me see. I do have mental disorders. Caleb. His name is Caleb. I didn't know that. Took the opportunity to address the controversy online where he revealed he suffers from mental illness, which we could deduce, This kind of thing doesn't happen to a neurotypical person. While I've now quit this position, my management supported me and told me I'm welcome back. That's a positive. The guest was ejected from the hotel for escalating issues with staff and the owners. Fucking poggers. I do have mental disorders. I suffer from BPD and schizoaffective disorders. I did recall reading that. He called me a F-slur. I struggle with that one. I'm not going to say it on stream. But I feel like I should be able to say it in context. He was aggressive and fishing for a reaction. He sure got it. Neither the former employee nor the company ever said that he was drunk on the job. Yeah, that's true. A lot of people made the assumption that because he was saying on Reddit that he found somewhere and went and got drunk after being sober for a year, people for some reason made the conclusion that he was drinking on the job, which was never the case. Jeremy Hambley, who created the GoFundMe page, wrote blah, 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 blah. Caleb took the GoFundMe page to thank supporters for their donations. Took to the GoFundMe page. I don't know how to comprehend any of what's happened the last few days. It's both overwhelming for good and bad reasons, as anyone could expect. I just cannot fathom what is missing in people's hearts to make them hate and turn this into anything but what it is on a prime level, the state of mental illness in the United States of America. What an absolute legend. To bring that to the forefront. This is what you should do when you are the target of something like this, is bring this to the forefront. He continued on a base level. As humans, we rely on each other. We build each other up. Love your neighbors, show love to strangers. We are one or we are none. I'm shutting off social media to recollect, get back to counseling and therapies, and promise to put portions back into my community and mental health related charities once I sit down and research which are the best choices. The former employee concluded, excuse me, for now, rest with my fur babies, rest with the love of my life. Aww, that's sweet. That's good, that's a good ending. That's a positive ending to a very, very shitty circumstance. Skelly animals, Skellanimals. Sylveon is... Oh, Sylveon, that's the one. He's safe with loved ones. Is Sylveon the one I'm thinking? Yeah, I like Sylveon quite a lot. Yeah, the fairy type one. Exactly, Sylveon. So if there's a plushie of Sylveon, I'm having that shit. The trans... Did you folks see the... Oh, is that... No, hang on. Let's try this, hang on. Trans. There is a plushie. There's a plushie, look. Oh. So there's that. This is now. We're not going to read this. This is now a thread dedicated to how much I hate women. We're not going to read that tonight. Maybe we can save that for tomorrow and we can do it in cells. What's a spicy topic? What do you got for me? The problem with human rights? Oh, good lord. Transleon. Maybe we'll do that another night. That seems pretty heavy. But yeah, what was I gonna say? I might actually buy the Sylveon plushie. I shouldn't have looked that up. But just the fact that there's probably a plushie for every different evolution is just like, that's dangerous. It's just women doing everyday things for the most part. Like, why? Because incels are not logical. They just want to hate something. The problem with human rights is that not enough people support them. Well, yeah. Anarchism has a lot of hot takes like that. It's from a leftist perspective, is it? Excuse me. Where'd you go? There you are. Hang on. I just need to bring this up again. No, get into the shot. You dickhead. There you are. Hello? Oh, this is fucking stupid. Oh, fuck. You're gorgeous. Oh, Smudge Best cat. Hoover cat. Look at him. He's kicking me. He doesn't like this. But he keeps doing it. You lead it. You're feeding into this. You realize that. This is your fault. You keep attacking me. This is what you get. You get dragged around the floor like a little asshole. Oh, fuck. You're shit tits. Oh, okay. Where are you going? I got him. I got him under my foot. That's been a real annoying thing lately. He's been so underfoot. He's just like been between my legs everywhere I go. He's been following me all over the house. Let go! Oh my god, you shithead. Go away. Oh gosh. You wish you had the courage that young man had? Hang on, we'll come back to your tale in a moment. What have I done to the microphone? Gosh. Where are we? Let me check my Twitter thread. What have you posted? Oh my gosh. Can we get some pogs in chat? Can we get some preemptive pogs in chat right now? I want to see some preemptive pogs in chat. Do it. Start us off, someone. 3, 2, 1. Fuck it. Oh, shit. That's incredible. Spooch. smudged her. I only do horse pogs. Horse pogs are fine. Oh, I've got to do a pog. How do you do pog? Let's do a pog face. Do you do a pog face? Somebody screen cap this. Oh, there is no better reason to learn Photoshop. And that's a legit Photoshop too. Look at that. There's shading on the shadows. Aurora. There you go. This is so good. You're gonna be smart. I was to type POG backwards. That's just GOP, and GOP bad. No GOP, please. Oh, my goodness. Why the hell did Twitch settle on that? Because you can't really cancel a bearded dragon or whatever that fucking thing is, can you? Yeah, Rogue B10 POG. As soon as I get my other emote approved. It hasn't been approved yet, I don't think. No, it hasn't. Hopefully I get it approved soon. I think I used to have the ability to just automatically upload emotes, but after I got suspended, they took that away from me, so now my emotes have to be approved again, which is stupid. But for anyone who missed it, this should be a new emote soon. I can't see any reason why they would deny it. Not that one. This one. Over here. Should be a new channel emote in the not too distant future. Catboy really likes feet. This is going to be a new emote for you to use, and I'm going to change the other ones too. We'll do the pog face. She Angie. It's going to be Angie face. We're going to just do Angie. We're going to just do me face emotes. I don't even care anymore. I'm just going to do me face emotes. I think I had some other ideas sitting around. Oh, this one. This is going to be an emote. I could use FFZ or BTTV. This one is going to be my pathetic emote, you know? If there's anything that's just, if you want to just look down on someone, ugh, you disgust me. That's that emote. Gotta do the red frying and the laser eyes? No. We'll just save laser eyes for something else. But I'm gonna get rid of some of them. I'm gonna get rid of the lipstick cross as an emote. I'll probably keep the smudge dab. I might get rid of the hype emote. And I might change the regular smudge cat face to maybe like tier 2 or tier 3. Which is annoying. But I want to keep a few of them, but I want to shift them around a bit. Keep the hype emote, but then I'm not going to have any space on tier 1. I want to add new emotes. I want to shift them around a bit. It does look a bit like pepperoni sticks. Hello, Detroit. How's it going? Perfect emote for when someone posts bigoted shit. Oh, yes. Oh, God, yes. We will have so many opportunities to use that. Oh, goodness. Well, we did have a good bit of a chat about sexism tonight. You would hate me forever if you lost the ability to post cat. You'll still be able to post cat! Yes, I will outfit model for you. Don't worry. I will outfit model for you, absolutely, because I just love this fit. I cannot deny how much I love this fit. Because it's just great. Look at me. Am I not just the very essence of queer right now? Look at this. This is the kind of, oh my god, this is so sheer, Jesus. Like, this is a very gay outfit. This is an incredibly, there it is, on this side. Got a little buckle on my thing, got a little belt on my hat. If the fit's legit, you must acquit. Here's a flex for you. Uss. Can I get away with just wearing a bralette? Could I get away with just wearing a bralette, you think? Probably not. You know? It's not appropriate for the situation. I like how that's just become his place now. A sports bra. I could probably do a sports bra. If I was doing a fitness stream, which I might do, you know, I have actually been considering dropping my degree in favor of doing a PT course and becoming a personal trainer. What's that oos noise? I don't know what it means. But there's a bunch of Australians that it's just an Aussie thing. It's kind of like an excitement thing. It's like, yeah, oos. I don't know what it fucking means. I don't get it, but I do it. I'm going to school for sociology and anthropology, but I'm finding myself struggling with the specific structure of the course. There you go, Detroit. By the way, enjoy the trans power ring. It's the sound the muscles make. Oos, oos. Here's me trying my best at femininity and just putting on the most masculine facade I can. Feels like the only time I can ever get cleavage is when I flex my pecs. Anyway, I was in the ice cream challenge on TikTok. People lick ice cream after opening. Oh yeah, that was ages ago, wasn't it? That was ages ago. And I think some of the people who did that got arrested. But yeah, I do enjoy us. I do quite enjoy the subjects of sociology, anthropology, social science in general, learning about the way that humans are, quite frankly. But the issue is that I struggle with the methods of study, the methods of examination, the quizzes, the exams, the essays, the group assignments. I'm just like, I can't handle all of that. I just want to have the information at me, please. I don't want to spend time, doing those kinds of things. I'm nailing the quizzes. I know the information. I'm absorbing it very well. But I hate the way that we are measured on it. I can't stand it. I'd rather just be at the university and learn and fucking fail the degree, but have the knowledge, And I honestly am speculating that maybe I do have ADHD. With some of the behaviors I exhort, and some of the friends that I have that have ADHD have told me about the way that they behave around certain things, and I'm just like, well, I do that exact same thing. Is it just an autism thing as well? Or do I have ADHD and autism, Let's just stack all the neurodivergence on top of each other. Being neurodiverse in education sucks. Yeah, exactly. I cannot fathom the usual methods of study. I just can't do it. ¿Por qué no las dos? Little, tiny, soft little us. You have a degree in health administration. That sounds pretty good. People are doing it again to spread COVID for fun. Oh my god. You know what the problem is with people like that? Is that they think their little singular action is not going to actually kill anyone. They just think the idea of it is funny, and this is the problem, is like, if they do happen to infect somebody with COVID and that person dies, it's incredibly unlikely that they're going to be able to make that connection to that person. But the reality of the situation is somebody could directly kill another person by giving them COVID. Taking notes doesn't work for you, recording lectures doesn't work for you, you don't know what would. I can absorb the information by watching a lecture and watching videos. That's in there. I can store that information. I just don't want to do exams and quizzes and be on deadlines to learn. This is the thing. I don't want to be on a deadline to get this information in me. I'm just Australian you, but pretty and strong. Oh no! This has come undone. You're pretty. I don't know about strong though. No one's quite as strong as me. I'm kind of like Gaston. I'm the trans woman Gaston of Twitch. No fucks like Gaston. I can't fix that. There's no way I can tie that with one hand. Yeah, it's a calculated risk that someone who's studied more and is paid way more than me came up with. In the process of getting diagnosed with ADHD and woo boy, the imposter syndrome is strong. Oh, I feel that. Gastona. Gastona. This is coming undone. He brain filled in the corn song. No one fucks like Abby. Oh lord. Studying sociology and anthropology, also studying social studies, but its major is in international studies and relations. Yeah, it's tough. The whole thing is just it's laid out in an uncomfortable way. I just don't like the systems. Took a while to be comfortable to talk to people re-ADHD. Oh yeah. I can understand that. I kind of grew up knowing I was autistic though, so I have become accustomed to the idea of being open about that. Kind of discuss the thing about, wait, what? Nobody fucks like Abby. Merch idea. You know, I kind of, Oh, good lord. I kind of grew up on the idea, it's like, oh, I'm autistic. I can tell people I'm autistic. I can explain this to them. You know, I know everything that is awkward about me, you know. But some people, you know, do not develop that kind of comfort with it, and it's totally understandable. Anyway. No one twerks like Gaston, makes it work like Gaston. No one drops down that booty and jerks like Gaston. He be up in the club with that ass gyrating. My, he's so fly, that Gaston. This is the Pixel Smixel arc. I'm now going to start doing singing at the end of my streams. Oh, Pog. Pog. Cringe. Cringe and based at the same time. That is cringe and based at the same time. Thank you kindly. Haven't figured that shit out and you were diagnosed like 20 years ago. For some people, it just never comes to them, I think. I think I've always been an open book, honestly. Except for the fact that I was trans. Now I'm an open book about that, but, you know, for a good long while there, I was not. What are you making noises for? I don't trust you anymore. It's important to be upfront about expectations. Yeah, it is. I want to do a news story before we end. Because this is pretty pog. This is pretty poggers. Pretty poggers. Hang on a sec. Maybe not that one. Here's a thing. I want to talk about this because this is a good thing. This is a good thing, although... you gotta go radio, Sammy. We've hit the gay, trans, and neurodiverse trifecta fucking based. I taught myself how to do my makeup. I learned from a few YouTube videos, and then I just sort of applied certain techniques and experimented a bit. Have a good one, Sammy. And speaking of Sammy, I was on the podcast, the Inconsolables podcast, episode 226. There's a link to it if you want to listen to it. Anyway, let's do a news article before we wrap up for the night. No, I'm not going to run an ad break. Anyway, I'm going to put a stream marker here, though. The White House is preparing to fight back against attacks on trans kids. Fucking finally, Joe Biden, after all of your... Well, allegedly. After all of your... What's it called? What's that thing called? After all of your kind words, but there's a word for, you know, all the words of support, the solidarity and all that bullshit. I mean, I'm not in America, but seeing, you know, the White House actually take a stance on this shit is good. Posturing, that's a word for it. That's not the word I was thinking of, but that's, yeah, empty gestures. Yeah, it's a lot of that bullshit. There's been a lot of words and no action, and now it seems like the White House is finally taking action, thank fuck. As anti-trans legislation continues to advance across the country, the Biden administration is finally preparing to take a stand. The White House signaled in a Tuesday report that it could be preparing to take legal action against states that discriminate against trans people. He was in office during Don't Ask, Don't Tell. He can put up or shut up. Exactly. Yeah. Lip service. Still not the phrase I'm looking for, but yeah, that kind of thing is like he was saying a lot and not doing anything. According to the Daily Beast, a representative for the Department of Justice claimed that it will fully enforce our civil rights statutes and protect transgender individuals. The declaration from the DOJ comes after more than 24 states introduced bills in 2021 seeking to block trans people from playing sports or receiving gender-affirming healthcare. 5 states have signed anti-trans sports bans this year, while Arkansas becomes the first state to ever criminalize hormones and puberty blockers for trans youth. Dude, Arkansas is fucked. And what this means, you know, all of this anti-trans legislation, the objective is not necessarily to wipe out the trans people in the state. It's to drive them out of it. You know, trans people in these states, legislatively, politically speaking, are seen as a burden. They are currently a very currently a very wedge issue. They are being used to divide people. Trans people are being used to divide people. But the goal, you know, the ultimate end goal would be drive all the trans people out of the state because the trans people are uncomfortable. Well, the trans people are making everybody else uncomfortable, allegedly, despite being such a distinctly small minority. But the thing is that, you know, with Arkansas doing the criminalizing hormones and puberty blockers and all that kind of stuff, that's just step one. If they do happen to, let's just say, perfect scenario, every trans person in the state leaves, right? Arkansas is going to move on to the next target and start legislating against them. It's not going to stop at trans youth. It's not going to stop at trans people. They'll start doing other things that are going to be exclusionary. And more to the point, you're not going to stop trans people existing. More kids are going to be born in the state of Arkansas, and some of those are going to be transgender, especially living in the information age that we live in, and access to the internet is so, widely available. Those kids are going to eventually be exposed to other trans people online. They're going to discover their transness, and they're going to have the misfortune of having been born in a state that outright exiled the existence of trans people. Their entire existence in those states is, being legislatively destroyed. It is, in effect, a form of genocide. It's a form of, removing the undesirables. Pocatello, welcome to the Rogue Room. Anywho's, the cruelty is the point, exactly. Although the White House did not state definitively that it would sue states like Arkansas and West Virginia for barring trans female athletes from playing on women's sports teams in school, advocates believe litigation could be imminent. Human Rights Campaign President Alfonso David said, you're welcome, the LGBTQ plus organization is having conversations with the Biden administration. Fucking hell. Excuse me. About additional actions that they could be taking as it relates to anti-LGBTQ plus bills that we're seeing in these states. We missed this part. The report follows Biden's address to a joint session of Congress last Wednesday, during which he referenced all transgender Americans watching at home, especially the young people. In the speech, he commended trans youth watching at home for their bravery. This is a problem. I have to bring this up. It's like, trans people are only brave because they need to be. They shouldn't need to be. There's no reason trans people need to be brave. But in the face of so much social othering, essentially we are forced to be brave at the end of the day. We don't have a choice in the matter. But he went on to say, I want you to know your president has your back. While many applauded the president's acknowledgement of the struggles trans people face, many wanted more than words. Carl Charles, the staff attorney for Lambda Legal, said the DOJ should make haste in publicly indicating its involvement in these cases, including launching affirmative lawsuits. Last week, the LGBTQ plus litigation firm announced plans to change Alabama's anti-trans medical care bill if the legislation is signed into law by Republican Governor Kay Ivey. Without action, it's just words, Charles told the Beast. However meaningful they might be, you can't change someone's material reality based on words. They want women, but they want beautiful housewives, not empowered individual women. Yeah, that's one of the major things. Is, all of this anti-trans legislation is heavily geared towards trans women by and large. Which means after they're done getting rid of the trans women, they're just going to move on to removing the rights of cis women. This is the thing. And this is the thing that TERFs don't understand, for example, is a lot of this legislation is geared towards those that are seen as feminine people. And the moment they have eliminated that particular group of feminine people, the legislation is going to shift to more misogynistic, broader anti-women legislation. And yeah, they don't see trans men as existing. This is the thing. Maybe you could argue it's, a privilege that trans men have, is that by and large trans men are overlooked aside from a few specific cases where they are brought into the discourse. It's watered down misogyny in transphobia, it is. Yeah, they want beautiful housewives. They shouldn't need to be, but it's good that they are doing what they can to be brave and survive in the face of this bigotry. Absolutely. Should the Biden White House forcefully oppose anti-trans legislation, it would not be the new administration's first foray into LGBTQ plus rights. On his first day in office, Biden signed an executive order expanding a 2020 Supreme Court ruling that sexual orientation and gender identity are included in federal workplace protections to all federal statutes. He's also signed a memo pledging to advance LGBTQ plus equality in all foreign policy decisions and reverse Donald Trump's trans military ban. While the Day One order represented one of the most sweeping, decisive gestures as a president has ever made on behalf of LGBTQ plus rights, executive actions are limited in their scope. As the LGBTQ plus newspaper, I'm just going to say queer. As the queer newspaper Los Angeles Blade notes, they can be reversed by subsequent administrations because no existing federal law prohibits sex discrimination in public accommodation. The White House did not respond to the Beast's detailed questions, in quotations, whatever that means, regarding what specific actions it planned to taking against anti-trans legislation. But Reggie Greer, Director of Priority Placement and Senior Advisor on LGBTQ+, on queer engagement. It's so wordy. I'm sorry. It's just too much. Affirmed that full queer and trans equality remains a key priority for President Biden. Policies that discriminate against queer people are inconsistent with the values of this administration, which is why the president continues to urge the Senate to pass the Equality Act, he said. First they came for the trans people, but I did not speak out because I was not trans. Then they came for the women, but I did not speak out because I was not a woman. Then they came for me, and there was no one left to speak for me. Kind of the same thing, yeah. Yeah, it's kind of, and I get what Biden is doing here. I dare say he realizes a significant portion of his base is pro-queer in this particular circumstance, which is why he is putting forth these ideas. But at the end of the day, Biden is still just a politician doing everything he can to rally his base behind him. You know, he knows what and this is what every politician does, is they're aware of the issues that their base has, and they want to make sure their base is kept happy. So this kind of thing is a big issue at the moment. It's a big social issue at the moment that a fair chunk of his audience is looking at and probably saying, you know, all this anti-trans legislation is incredibly unnecessary, incredibly hateful, outright genocidal in some cases. You know? So he realizes that this is a big thing that he can win some brownie points on. You aminoids will be unapologetically brash. You won't make yourself smaller to fit others' molds. The most radical thing you can do is be yourself. So because of that, I will always fight tooth and nail for your rights and the rights of others. Fucking pog. Awesome. That's what we like to hear. Where were we? While the Equality Act would extend broad protections on the basis of sexual orientation and gender identity at the nationwide level, it yet to be passed. It has yet to be passed anyway, despite Biden's goal of signing the queer civil rights legislation into law within the first 100 days of his presidency. The bill remains stalled in the Senate, facing GOP opposition in a chamber divided 50-50 between Democrats and conservatives. Conservative moderates like Mitt Romney and Susan Collins, whose supporters hoped would help avoid a filibuster by backing the bill, have recently come out against the Equality Act. Of course they can. Of course they have. Thank you for the hydration. I need it. Amber Briggle, the mother of a trans son in Texas, hopes to see the Biden administration do more to stick up for families like hers. Her home state has introduced 20 laws targeting LGBTQ plus people this year, the worst of which, Senate Bill 1646, would classify, this is the shit that annoys the fuck out of me, would classify allowing a minor to transition as child abuse. That legislation is soon to be debated in the Texas House after clearing the state Senate in April by an 18-12 vote. And you know what that means, right? Is if a child is transgender and their parents are supportive of them transitioning. The water didn't help. If a child is transgender and the parents support them transitioning, what this bill proposes is that those kids could be actually forcefully taken away from their parents. You know, facing the possibility of being labeled as an abuser but for supporting her child and potentially even losing custody of him, Briggle said she wanted to see the Equality Act passed and the DOJ sue states like Texas and Tennessee. It's kind of bizarre to me that the government, the ruling government, would have to sue their own states to get them in line. You know, that's just a bizarre thought to me. Maybe I don't understand the entire process, but it strikes me as particularly odd. In a nutshell, I'd say thank you, Mr. President, but this doesn't go far enough. This is true. Briggle said, instead of having our backs, I want him to get out front and turn this around. Trans children are actively hurting, not just with the passing of bills, but even with the rhetoric around them. They're feeling really defeated and scared, and that's completely understandable. I think a lot of people, whether trans teens or just trans adults, whatever, we're constantly under a barrage of harassment online. We're constantly being treated as something to be targeted and being demonized and being portrayed as these... a lot of the rhetoric surrounding trans people portrays us as sexual predators and all this kind of nonsense is like generalizing us based on the actions of maybe one or two people amid the trans community, which is all they need at the end of the day. All they need is one example of a trans person who is an outright absolute cunt. And then they justify to themselves, oh, well, this entire group of people over here, they're really bad and we need to take it legislative to stop them from existing, to stop them from just whatever it is that they're doing. Whatever it is. What are we doing, folks? What are we queer folks doing? What are we trans folks doing at the moment? I'm sitting here in a chair watching my cat nap on my laundry. That's all I do. What? Or you could be like Blair White and lie about trans people for conservative clout. Blair White confuses the hell out of me. I get that it's a grift. I get that she's grifting. It's just... I don't know, man. I don't understand it. Anyway, that's going to be it for me for tonight. I'm going to have to call it there. I just wanted to get that little news story in there because, you know, news is always good. Sitting in a chair watching... Well, there you go. That's what you're doing. That's all you do. That's all you need to be doing. Am I able to raid this person? Actually, let's have a look who's live at the moment. I'm waiting for the ad to go away. You missed the note of cockles. That sucks. I'm so sorry. You just missed the stream. Maybe not this one. How about we go to... Let me find someone. Hold on a minute. Laserfruit, welcome to the Row Group. How you doing? Hello, Blonde Chipmunk. How you going? I'm looking for someone to raid at the moment. Candace died. Who? What time is it?
The Rogue
Not
Room
what time is it?
appreciates your recommendation.
Chipmunk, thank you for the host. But you sleep. Sleep is good. I'm pretty tired at the moment. I've got to get up early anyway. How about Clock? How about we go raid some Clock? That sounds like a good idea. Playing some Crash 4.
Another round.
Oh my goodness,
on
Noah!
you. Gotta get first place before you go, Abby.
Alright, thank you so much. Thank you so kindly. We're going to go and raid Clock District, who is doing some Crash Bandicoot 4 80% runs. And I will be live tomorrow. We might not do Critical Race Theory yet. But we may do another big topic tomorrow night. I don't know what. I might need to... I think I need to do more research on Critical Race Theory before I do a stream on it. Because it's something I want to look into. It's something I want to understand. I'm not sure. What can I do? I don't know. What's an idea for a stream tomorrow? And Friday, of course, we're doing Fallout again. I may do a bonus stream, Sexism Part 2. Well, we did miss a ton of typical sexism-related things. There's a lot there that we missed. We missed the whole institutional sexism discussion entirely. I am interested in doing... Fuck. I've got no idea. But I might do a bonus stream on Saturday to make up for missing Tuesday. Yeah? Sound good? Either that or I'll record my video because my script is finished. Thanks to the help of Solace. Yeah, I'll do a tit stream. Solace actually gave me some tips on my script for my next video, and I might actually sit down and record that. But I've also got Sunday night, so, you know, it doesn't matter. Thank you, everybody. I'll see you when I'm looking at you. Have a good one.
Cool. Where was the other 2 minutes? See how